welcome back. Yes, I know. You're used to the stupid little robot chick and her little demonic, sexually arousing, dark-voiced angel fella. But I figured I would take up the recap this time. That adorable little rabbit paid me a visit. I mean, technically I kidnapped her, but semantics. Now, our little adventurers have stumbled into a house. They got done with fighting a demonic dragon? No, that's a spider. That's right. The dragon was a good one. How does that work? A giant reptile looks at a little stupid one and is stupid too. I mean, I don't think it really matters if it's a vegetarian or not, but I digress. Anyways, you watched the last one. Let's go. I'm done with this. Yeah, you thought I was going to do the robot voice. I pulled a silly on you.
Though we feel
So
silly.
you totally should feel silly. So you guys got done with killing a spooter, a demonic spooter, a giant demonic spooter, with the assist of Mama Dragon. Got a demi-plane spell, temporary, permanent, not really sure. And you guys have put the spider bits, I guess, into the demi-plane, and then you have gathered a flute and a book and 2 dragon glass blades, iron blades, along with that are sheathed, not along with, that are sheathed in dragon ash sheaves. Scabbards? Hilts? No, it's not hilts. Anyways, so you guys are in this nice little house here now, right? And for a little bit of something different, we're going to use my incarnate. So now I took this little one from the Explore tab. It's technically 2 stores, but there's no extra story at the top. Technically, this half of the house is destroyed, but I didn't really have time. We did this on a crunch, so I had to take care of some other stuff. So you guys are in here now. Rabbit, you're nearly dead at, like, what, 16 health, right?
14.
14 health, and never mind. I stand corrected. Me, I guess.
Oh, you were close.
And
Should have taken the 16.
It's not much better.
You could have just tucked the wubby.
It's not
the
much
wubby.
better. It's fine.
You're right, it's not much better, but it's still better than 14.
That's 2 more.
It is 2 more. You're right. You're so good at basic math.
Thank you.
You might even be able to compete against the rest of the first graders.
Wow.
It is twilight right now, and you guys are in the house. Starting with the 8 card, what are you up to?
Roll a perception check to see what's in the room around us.
Okay.
Oh, to roll that, I actually got to roll that.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, hold on. There we go.
And you rolled what?
15.
Cool. Good for you. You see a dilapidated house, despite what this image shows, that really doesn't have much besides a thick film of dust, broken table, broken chairs,
broken cabinetries, a wash basin that has seen better days, and a half collapsed roof and ceiling that sits over the trap door that goes into the basement. Oh, in the hole where the rabbit had decided she was going to put her caboose through. I know. Shocking, right?
Oh, gasp.
And here I figured rabbits actually could fall on their feet pretty well, but I guess
You
they're no
would,
cat.
yeah, you would think so, but
But you don't see anything too crazy. You've already kind of been in and out of this place once before. When you
Well,
returned back from your core after you died in the last sesh early on.
yeah, but it was only briefly, and I never really got a chance to, I guess, look around too much.
Hmm.
Okay. Which one of us has
Okay.
the flute?
that would be me.
Uh, I would suppose the rabbit, considering she's the one who grabbed it.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Rabbit, can I actually borrow that flute for a second?
Uh, please tell me you're not gonna actually blow it inside the house.
Of course not. I'll go outside.
Okay. Just be careful. I hand her the
So
flute.
you go back outside.
Just like to where the essentially the front
Okay.
patio,
You're
I guess,
outside.
yard.
It's just wilderness at this juncture. But
Okay.
yeah.
And I observe the flute, and then I do to the flute.
You doot to the flute. Do you know anything about flutes?
I know when you expel air into the little reed piece,
Wait,
mouthpiece
do
thing.
it does a Spriggan even have lips, let alone an actual functional tail or tongue? Tail. Tongue?
Well, it's just blowing air. I still gotta breathe, so I can actually just breathe
Do
into
you?
it.
Because I'm pretty sure we had a conversation about how you simulate breathing. You don't actually
Yeah.
breathe.
Well, I can simulate the breath to where it actually.
Simulating breathing by all accounts is just moving your chest back and forth, which would just be pushing your broody, gnarled existence forward in the chest lung region as if you were breathing.
Well, I got a face. Okay, well, I wave my hand back and forth really fast in front of where the mouthpiece is.
So what I need from you right now is airplane noises as you're moving that flute around.
No, that's a car. What does an airplane sound like? It's been so long.
It's whatever you want it to be, baby, and more.
That doesn't sound like an airplane either.
Why
I
does
don't
it
know what
sound
an
like it has a
airplane sounds
clutch?
like. I don't know what an airplane sounds like. Can I do a choo-choo train instead?
No.
I don't.
And
I don't
choo-choo
know what.
chains are on the ground. You have that flute held up in the air with
I don't.
it towards your
I
face
seriously
area, and
don't.
you're just
I
moving
don't
around.
know what an airplane sounds like. I know like jet engines, but that
It's whatever you want it to have. Whatever
okay.
kind of sound.
Uh, whoosh, 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 whoosh,
It has whoosh sounds.
whee.
Cool.
Yes.
So you as a Spriggan, you have more or less humanoid hands, right? But you don't have actual 5-finger phalanges. You would have what, like 3 big claw styled like root system to make a hand to for grasping things? Or do you actually have phalanges? Like, do your root ends actually have more or less a full hand shape? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, it's like a hand shape. I got
Okay.
hand. It's not like a noodle. It's a hand.
So, the next question again is how do you expect to actually blow the flute without lungs or lips
That's
or a
what the
technical tongue?
that
That's not
is
going to create
why
anything. You have to be able to touch the reed and everything. It's a clarinet or flute, not clarinet.
what
I guess both of them have reeds.
yeah, they do.
No, flutes don't have reeds.
Oh yeah, they don't, do they?
No, they just have the one little
Yeah, but
mouthpiece.
you would have to be moving that thing really fast to in reverse to actually even possibly get some kind of air out of it. But flutes also have like what 17 holes and 6 finger holes on them, right?
Uh,
I'm gonna Google it. Yeah, it's 17
Don't know.
holes,
I only
including the 6 finger holes. I'm gonna probably butcher the word. The embouchure hole and 10 keys that cover additional holes. That seems a lot more than what you would think, but
yeah, flutes are very intricate.
clearly, how do you suppose you're going to actually produce any kind of notes? Wouldn't it be easier to drag Rabbit outside and have her attempt to perform with the flute?
probably.
Okay. Well,
Okay. Well,
while
I just
you're
go back
sitting out
inside.
there
Well, I'm gonna go back
spazzing,
inside. I'm
you're
just
gonna
gonna
go
go
back
back
inside.
inside.
Okay.
Yes. And throw the
While
flute at it.
Acorn is clearly making airplane whoosh sounds, what have you been up to there,
Well,
Rabbit?
I'm going to drink one of my rejuvenation potions.
Uh, choice, but never mind. It's up to you what you're doing. So
Well, it's the only thing that can
my
honestly
advice doesn't really matter.
help me at the moment.
Uh huh. But it
Because,
would probably help you more if you did something else before you drank that. But you do you.
um, did what?
A reminder for the class, even though it's probably been only moments for you, it's been a one full work day and it is like 2 in the morning for us. The it, the rabbit is got 4th-degree burns all over the front half of her entire body, and it that wasn't covered in her armor, and which is her hands, face, uh, and I guess that's it about it. Um, and her entire body is also riddled with amethyst shards from the dragon's flame.
But wouldn't the rejuvenation potion kind of push it out like a splinter?
I wouldn't think so. I would think that
It just
it would try to seal around it to make it one with you. It's not the rejuvenation potion would know the difference.
I
yeah,
don't
it
I
just
don't
regrows whatever the limbs are.
I don't see how it wouldn't, considering if like you get a splinter like in your hand, your body naturally
But that
just
takes years in a lot of cases, depending on how deep that splinter, how many tissue layers it is.
that's all
Like I had a
depending on
math
that.
teacher that was sitting in class and while we were doing our book work for our math class, and he sat there and he heard a little tink, and it was like looking around his desk, like what the heck was that? And he seen the little shard that had been stuck in his hand for over 15 years fall onto his desk while we were all in class. And then he put it in a little tiny vial case that he got from the science room and put it on his desk. And he called it Sharpie, like spelt like the marker.
Okay, well,
Owie.
I was just using the whole splinter logic. How we would just kind of push it out.
I mean, what I'll do for you, if since that's kind of your headcanon, it's not really my headcanon because that doesn't actually make sense. You're not Wolverine. You're a human being. Par shifter or not. So I'll allow it, but I'm going to allow it this one time. I'm not going to allow it again in the future. So don't get used to it.
Okay.
You get 4 doses worth. I'm gonna say that you're gonna probably need at least 2 of the doses out of that vial of rejuvenation.
Okay. Go
And
ahead.
once more, rejuvenation potion vials in this case for this campaign work in doses in the bigger the loss of like limb, like if you lose everything up to your shoulder, it will take basically the entire vial to replace that missing limb. But if you're missing something such as a phalange, doesn't matter if it's your thumb, pinky, or a toe, it can regrow that with only a quarter because it's a small part of you. Missing a hand, I would argue that still goes under a small enough portion of the body to where it would rejuvenate with a quarter. Lower under the elbow, you're going to need half, and so on. So I would say that to remove thousands of pricklies out of your body is going to probably cost you at least half of that vial. Because that stuff has turned your armor into Swiss cheese and is piercing all the way through you.
Mm.
Well, not all the way through you, but all the way intruding into your skin. And since you're running on adrenaline, because it's only been a short time since everything, you're probably starting to feel some pain.
Yeah.
So I want you to flip me a coin real fast, actually, now that I bring that up, before you drink that vial.
Before I drink it?
Yep.
Okay. Tails.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what's about to happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got 1 rejuvenation vial left. Your pain starts rushing back through your body like a cacophony of suffering as you fall in the fetal position, writhing in pain as your adrenaline fully depletes and it smashes on the ground, dripping through the rotted, parting floorboards.
Cool.
Acorn. She's kind of sitting there writhing in pain. What are you up to, bud?
Well, I don't have any potions.
Rabbit, do you want to say anything to Acorn as she stands there inquisitively?
I have potions. Please, just pour half of the rejuvenation into my mouth. I'm
Okay,
in
which
so much
pocket?
pain.
Yeah. Which pocket is it? You got so many buckets.
Just find the purple vial.
Okay. I pat down the rabbit. to locate the
Give
purple vial.
me a perception in a dex roll, and both of them you need to be at a 10. Well, you're not very perceptive. Uh, and you're kind of putting a lot more force, causing the rabbit 1d4 pain of
Oh,
physical
jeez.
damage,
Ah,
pushing that stuff into her body. And
Oh, sorry.
yeah, you might die just from Acorn trying to help you. Oh,
freaking
you
hell!
down to 10 health. That is a 4 for 4.
Are you trying to
Woo.
kill me?
I'm trying to help you.
Look
But
again.
there's so many pockets.
What pocket?
The left
Oh
pocket.
no,
Oh,
look.
good lord.
I look in the left pocket.
I want you to give me a dex check and a coin flip.
Oh. Well,
Well, the rabbit is writhing on the floor so much so that you can't seem to really get her to sit still long enough for you to actually to get inside her pocket to get that vial. But you didn't break the vial. You just can't seem to get into her pocket.
you
So
gotta
you're gonna
sit
have to
still.
do something.
You're large. Just I don't
I'm gonna-
know.
I sit on the rabbit and hold her down while I
Oh.
grab to go into the left
Oh
pocket.
god. Why are you sitting
Gently.
on me?
I sit on the rabbit gently.
Hey, rabbit!
You're moving
Why
too
are you
much.
sitting on
Rabbit!
me?
No, you already said it. Rabbit, take 1d8 of damage.
Oh god. Mother freaking ass!
Oh, shit.
God damn!
I love this. This is so good. That is full 8 points of damage from Acorn choosing to sit on the impaled individual who is also suffering from 4th degree burns on her face, her and her hands. You, Acorn, are a monster, and I love it. I mean, yes, you're a Spriggan, but the internals in that mind of yours, that beautiful, beautiful, sadistic, murderous mind of yours, it's just, it's so palpable. So good. I love this.
I'm gonna look around the room.
For what? Let me know what you're looking for.
It help.
There is nothing. Rot, decay, uh, some wood that you probably pull off and pry.
Well, we had a there was that weird Spriggan fella, and I don't know
They
where he
ran
went.
off earlier. So don't expect from help from them. They haven't returned that you're aware of.
Okay.
Rabbit, you're losing consciousness and still kind of floundering on the ground, but your body's losing energy real quick to where you're not able to flounder as much as you were prior. You're losing it, coming in and out of consciousness at this juncture.
Can't see.
I tiptoe.
Everything's
And
hazy.
it's especially with the assistance of your murderous compatriot.
I tiptoe over to the rabbit and gently reach my fingerless hands down like a feather into the left pockets to firmly grasp gently around with my fingers in the pocket the potion, careful not to touch any exposed wounds around the area.
I want you to give me a coin flip and a dex.
No. Hey!
As you reach into her pocket and you pull out a vial, one of the only two that she has left on her person. As you reach in and you start sliding it out, you just are a little too cautious with it, that you're over going with how firm you're trying to make sure you're holding it, and you shatter the vial. Hey, Acorn, what color was the liquid that she told you?
Purple.
You smashed her health vial. You got one last chance at this. Otherwise, well, she's going to be completely out of both situations.
Well,
You already
that's the
ruined the idea of healing
well
now.
that
I
health
mean, I guess
the health
you could try to get rid of the glass and like let her lap it up if you manage to give her the rejuvenation.
well it's on her, so technically wouldn't it be able to be absorbed through her flesh, like just
No, it
in
has
the
to be
area?
ingested, much like poison. I mean, yes, it could seep into her skin, but this is a health potion, and you got it out of her pocket. So it just spilled on the floor next to her. Acorn's gonna kill you, and I can't wait.
Yay. I reach into the pocket again.
Give me that dex and that coin toss. It all comes down to this. Okay, we're good on dex. You take the vial out of her mouth with great finesse. And as you pop the cork out of the top of the vial, the sweat from you being so hyper focused and meticulous makes the vial pop out of your hand. But fortunately for you, it fell right into her mouth, but now she's choking on glass as her teeth slapped down on it and shattered the vial in her mouth, rejuvenating her completely from all the other stuff, but giving her 1d4 damage from the glass that is now all in her mouth. She no longer has shards in her body or the burns. But I'll do you a favor, depending on how this roll goes, Rabbit. If this roll kills you, which you can only roll a 1 if you want to stay alive.
Yeah.
If you manage to technically be dying, you would still be under the effects of that rejuvenation poison or potion, considering it is all in your body and you only needed half of it or so. Therefore, I'll give you 2 minutes for Acor to pluck the glass out of your mouth long enough for you to just be able to turn over and cough it out without causing yourself any substantial damage, keeping you alive for 2 health points. Because the only other way you're getting any health points is if you sit there, move the glass out of the way, and lap it up for the floorboards. The dusty, gross floorboards.
Okay, I'm gonna roll now.
No. No.
I die, and I die, and I die.
Rabbit.
You on the dot, and I want you to understand fully that your murderer is the woman who is supposed to be your comrade and your friend from
I was
another
trying to
world
save her.
who decided to sit on you
I, well,
while you are having a bunch of shards of crystalline amethyst shards
to
shoved all
maximize
across your
the
body and is
room.
burnt skin of 4th-degree burns as you're writhing on the floor. I want you to understand that she is the one who killed you. Not the giant demon spider, not the jester, not his cronies. Your own friend is the one who killed you. You will now have 2 minutes to be saved by the fact that that rejuvenation potion is going through your body right now. And how I'm going to actually have you save your life right now is you are going to tell me the answer to a couple questions.
Okay.
What is the name of the tavern that you were sent to?
Flying Moon's Tavern.
What is the barkeep's name?
Gary Moon.
Does he have any relatives that work there?
His dad. He's a skelly boy.
What was the race of the creature you bumped into on your way to the tavern? Well, you bumped into his reanimated servant. Who's the one you bumped into? What was his race?
Are you talking the servant or the actual person?
The guy who made you pay.
Tiefling.
Wrong.
Oh.
I will let you have one rebuttal. Think bigger and uglier.
Ogre?
Yep. How much did you pay him?
25 gold coins.
What was the room number that you went into when you got to the tavern?
103.
What was it looking at in the back?
The courtyard?
What was happening in that courtyard?
I don't recall anything actually happening. It's just like a little seating area.
There was something else going on back there. Maybe weaponry. That's your only hint that I'm going to give you any kind of assist.
Weaponry.
Here, allow me to redux the question. There was something that sat back in the back of that building. What was it? It even showed up on the map, so it was physically there.
I want to say like archers of some sort, but I don't think that's right.
No. One last question. What was the joke that the jester told when you were being after you've been kidnapped?
Knock knock.
Why did you say that like it was a question with such uncertainty?
Because I feel like there was another one, but that was the one that I remember the most was knock knock because he would smack me in the head.
Fair enough. You roll over, spitting out the glass slowly by opening your mouth, kind of like you're sucking on it upon a ghost. You know, the whole, don't yawn. A ghost might put something in your mouth. As the glass shards start tumbling out of your mouth, and you start hastily lapping up the healing potion before all of it gets poured down into the basement below, healing you for 35 points.
Yay, 35.
You're alive! Thank gosh, I didn't kill you.
What were you thinking about setting on me?
I was trying to make sure you were moving too much. I couldn't get the potions.
I don't know, you could have grabbed my arms or, my legs. Something that's not being impaled.
I mean,
Perhaps.
technically, you have shards in your
I
arms
thought it
and
was all
legs.
over your body.
It was all across your torso. Your whole frontal of your body, not just your torso.
Okay, well, if it was by underside of my wrist, that'd be fine, right?
Yeah, arguably, it would be more so in like the side of your wrist, more so than like the bottom of your wrist. So, yeah, but you would have also been shoving the shards deeper on the top of your arms. So, wasn't really left with many options, but sitting on you definitely is a choice. So now that you're back up to 35 health, what is your next course of action?
Oh, next course of action. Oh, Jesus. Well, I feel like we should at least light some sort of fire, like campfire outside. Gather up some branches that are in the
You've
immediate
never
surroundings.
really watched like westerns or anything growing up in your entire life, have you?
No.
Hell, actually, don't they bring it up in like even Lords of the Rings about
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
lighting fires in the dark in
Yeah.
hostile territory?
The smoke actually gives away your location.
Well, actually, it would be the fire, not smoke. It's turning dark. The smoke would be
Well,
covered by the
yeah, the
darkness.
light
But,
and the
you know,
smoke.
that's just my guess.
Yeah, but the whole point being it's visible from faraway places.
During the day, it's turning night. And by this point, it's just on the cusp of night. We're well into the late portion of the twilight.
Yeah, so it'd be the light.
Okay, well. Is there like any sort of like maybe stove on the inside we could
There
possibly
is
use?
a steel stove, well, an iron stove that is still there. It's beat up, but it could if you want to look at it, it could possibly actually withstand having fire put back into it. You could check the chimney to it and all that. If you want to do some perception rules.
Yeah. You wanted to come take a look at this with me, Acorn?
Yeah, sure. Let's go check it out.
Just don't sit on her chest while you're doing it, okay? You can do it on the face, just not on her chest.
I was
Pervert.
hoping.
I was meaning that, like,
I know.
sitting on you.
I know.
She's a bunch of plants. I don't even know how that would work.
Well, I got a 9.
Okay. What did Acorn get? I'll combine the two. Just to be kind.
It hasn't popped up
After
yet.
your harrowing experience.
11. So 20.
Looking at it, it has certainly seen better days, but the tray in the bottom of the oven is still more or less, well, more than less, uh, solid and good to actually put some fire up in there of whatever kind that you could get up in there. The hinges for the flap of the door, however, have not really uh, seen any kind of maintenance in a very long time, probably decades, and probably have only one or two more times that it could probably open or close before that thing snaps. The chimney stack that goes out of the house, you're very fortunate because it's short and is outside anyways, where the clear hole that's behind it shows that it has been snapped. Like it had just rusted from the elements and has fallen off there into the side of the house's yard. Therefore, you could definitely do it, but there is a bit of a hole, so winds can be disadvantageous for smoke coming out of there. But yeah, it's safe to use otherwise.
Okay. Well, what do you
Oh,
think, Acorn? Should we go ahead and light it and try to get some shut eye?
yeah, it might be a good idea. And then if we have anything, like, we could actually. Well, I grabbed some of the spider bits, but I think most of them are already cooked from the dragons. So I got the
No,
cooked piece.
no, you only took a tiny bit. That dragon is, it only did that little bit of meat that you had. It did not care for the spider meat whatsoever.
Well, no, but I mean, I like they.
99.9% of that meat went straight to you guys. The only bit of meat that you didn't get is any that was it's sitting around its head and including its brain.
Yeah, but I put some in my pack as well, along with fish. So we could. Do you want to cook some of the fish?
Yeah, let's cook some of the fish.
So we never actually counted how many fish you actually got out of that. So I want you to roll me a d20 because a dragon's a pretty substantially big creature. So it's possible that it was able to grab a good chunk of fish out of the river, especially if they're like moving fish.
Do you want both of us to roll a d20?
I only
No,
have
just
half a
her.
fish.
Okay.
Well, I only have half a fish. She got all the other fish. Because the rabbit got the fish dumped on her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I only got half the fish from
Then
what
Rabbit,
they
you
put in.
you're the one who's going to roll that d20 for how many fish?
15.
You got 15
Ooh.
fish.
15
I'm going to
fishes.
say that you got 2 large fish, 7 small medium fish, and then the rest are small. And they are of catfish, salmon, and cod. I think that cod is a river dweller, right? If I remember correctly. It's been a while.
Yeah. To be a river dweller.
Oh, it's apparently the name for many marine species. But no, cod is not a river fish.
Oh.
Is it bass I'm thinking of? Again, it's been
There's bass,
ages and
sunfish.
Sunfish are not a river. Oh.
I've caught sunfish though.
You've not caught a sunfish.
I've caught sunfish in ponds, but that's about it.
Will rivers connect to the
Yes, bass
ponds?
are a river fish. So we'll say it's bass.
Okay.
No, there's many species of sunfish that are rivers. Okay. So you definitely probably have. That is not the same fish that I thought it was. What am I thinking of? Flatfish.
Oh,
Sundial fish?
the flat ones with the eyes on just the same side of its head.
Yeah. Well, they're like it's sunfish, I thought.
I thought they were called sunfish too.
No.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
It's called sunfish. I don't understand why we have two different kinds of fish that are in the named the same if they're not the same. You can use this little graphic. This is sunfish.
Oh yeah, that's little.
Credit goes to National Geographic for that beautiful photo of a sunfish.
It's glorious. Glorious.
It's a face only a mother could love if she was blind. And probably just Helen Keller.
Oh, jeez.
What? Helen Keller was blind and deaf. If that thing looks like that, I can't imagine if it was a human being and it spoke, that it would be very fun to listen to. Not saying anything against disabled people. I'm just saying he looks like he would have a very screechy voice. Maybe it might be seductive. Like he looks bad, but he sounds super sensual. I like that headcanon. I don't go away with that one because it's just ridiculous and I love it. He's just like Fernando. Oh my God, Fernando! Look at you. You look terrifying, but that voice is so delicious. It makes me make cream chowder in my pantalones. Whisk me away, Fernando. Take me upon your fins. Let's explore the ocean depths together, Fernando. All right.
Oh, Fernando.
Exactly. See? Fernando. He looks like he was beat with an ugly stick, but he sounds seductive. So Helen Keller couldn't even enjoy. Wait, that actually sounds way worse because it's like the whole mother. Never mind. I digress. We've gotten way too far into banjo music territory now.
Yeah, a little bit.
So you guys are going to sleep through the night?
Well, we're cooking a fish.
Okay. What I need you to do is I need you to give me a coin flip. Who's cooking the fish?
The rabbit.
Yep.
I need you to give me a coin flip and 2D100s.
Kai.
And again, you can type in 2 and then it D100. All one thing. So it would be the slash roll 2 D100. Don't put a space in it. There you go.
Oh.
So your efficiency at doing it was crap, but it was pretty effectively cooked. So you have some pretty charred up fishies.
Extra
How much
crispy.
fish did you cook?
I just cooked 2 of the medium ones.
Okay. So now you have 2 mostly charred, cooked, grilled fish. Or oven baked? Would it be baked?
I think it would be baked.
I would think it'd be baked. But you wouldn't probably put it in the actual, like, on top of the coals and everything. You would put it on what equates to a stovetop, right?
Yeah.
And you would fry it, so it'd be fried fish.
Yeah. By technicalities, it'd be fried.
By technicalities. Whatever. You have 2
This
mostly
episode brought to you
charred
by
fried
how
fish.
is prepared.
I guess.
Char is good for you.
It is actually. It charcoal attaches itself to a lot of toxins and is good at clearing the system.
Exactly.
It's a
Also
little bit of
enhances
a
the
thing
flavor.
for everyone. Huh?
Enhances the flavor.
I mean, if you're a freak like me, yeah.
No, it really does though. Like some of the foods, like if you have a little bit of
Most
char,
people would not agree with you.
Yeah.
A
well,
lot
like
of
char.
people do not like charcoal or char in general.
it's delicious.
You proceed to eat your fishy fish. Are you eating both the fish or are you just cooking one up for later?
Oh, well, it's the 2 of the medium ones, so 1 for each of us.
How is she eating this?
Through my
You guys
face.
keep on seeming to like okay, so you're basically doing what's his name? Stinky?
It's like- I
Hey,
don't know what you're
Casper's
talking
uncle.
Oh, smelly? Is it smelly?
Smelly?
I think it's smelly.
about. Gassy. He's one of the dwarves.
Okay, stop it.
I mean, she can absorb like
I have a
Yeah,
I have
it's stinky.
compost.
I can sit there and eat it.
Yeah,
I ate
but
the
it would be
spider
like
part.
stinky. It would just go through your body in your mycelium, and the mushrooms would take the substance, which is your format of eating. But you're just gonna leave basically quickly decayed, poopy, fish on the ground.
Oh no. The dirty hut is going to have decayed poopy on the ground.
Oh no.
I'll cover it up with dirt. Like a cat.
So you push it down
Give me
into
the
the
fish.
basement.
You just kind of waffle stomp it.
You just stomp it through the
I
cracks
feel
in
like
the
we're
floor.
focusing on the wrong details here. I already ate spider
I'm-
bits and we
it-
didn't even talk about this. I ate ingested the spider bit.
No, you had bits. As you just noted yourself, you have bits. There
But
wouldn't be enough for
you're
you
still-
to actually push out of your body. You already you just your mushrooms and mycelium grabbed a hold of all of the bits because it was bits. This is a whole medium fish, which is about 2 pounds almost of fish.
Okay then. Well, we'll just deal with that mess and stuff and it'll be fine. I need sustenance. And
Do
then we
you?
can take a rest. Yeah.
You're constantly
I'm
being
the- I'm
fed
the growing
all
plant.
damn day. You are a plant. You are a embodiment of fey magic in the format
Photosynthesis.
of a plant.
Mate. Well, I still want to taste the food.
You don't
Curious
have
to
taste
taste it?
buds.
I
You
do.
have-
I do.
You have
it tastes like
basically the equivalent of what? A root and a leaf to make up your tongue?
essentially yes.
Then you don't have taste buds. A tongue
But-
is
But they're
needed to
tasty.
have
They're
taste.
tasty. But but I'm tasting it through my roots and my
No, you're
my
not. They
mushroom.
don't taste anything. There's no sensation
How
there
have
to be
you
tasted.
have you asked him? Have you was that hazel mushrooms? Do you taste that? Does it taste
No,
really
but
good?
scientists sure as heck have.
They
There's no way for you to taste. You're just imagining what it smells like. You're imagining what it tastes like by past human experience of this stuff. Are you regretting being a Spriggan yet that you don't get to that's definitely going to become a thing. I'm going to make you do a sanity check as you continue to try to do regular human things. Eventually, I don't think we're quite there yet, but definitely
Dang.
going to happen.
All right. Well, mushrooms, they can absorb and develop flavors from their environment. So I'm
Yes.
developing the flavors.
No.
I'm
You're
developing the
twisting
flavors.
words. You're doing a woman thing right now. You're doing a woman thing. You're twisting words.
I googled
They
mushrooms.
created it
googled.
for human taste. The mushroom itself is not creating it. It is absorbing that stuff. And the human can taste it through the mushroom. Not the mushroom. The mushroom don't taste it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't taste it. That's what I was saying.
So again, what you're
It says
admitting?
mushrooms don't have taste buds or the ability
No crap.
to taste what they
No
eat
shoot.
in the way animals do. Shush! Educating myself. But they can absorb and develop flavors from their environment and the nutrients they absorb.
So what I'm hearing is if you want to feed the rabbit your mushrooms, here's what I will do. Depending on what you do and what you would poopy, stinky digest through your body, feeding your mushrooms, if you eat things that would in real life have more or less healing properties, I will allow you to more or less be a walking herbologist of sorts. But the mushrooms in which you would give the rabbit or whomever else that you give people will only heal for 5 health points. Sound fair? Okay, cool.
Okay. I just thought it was cool that
It's the equivalent of you doing the whole dirt thing in our actual playing D&D stuff. That she plays as a squirrel. I'm a kinku. And the rabbit is, well, a rabbit. She's playing as the hare people.
Yep, hair folk.
Yeah, that. What are you guys up to now that you've done eaten and Acorn decided
Tasted the
to
flavors.
pull an Amber Heard on the living room / kitchen floor?
Well, we obviously need some sleep, so take shifts and keep watch.
Does Acorn even require sleep?
I don't know.
It's not like planes go to sleep just because the night has fallen.
True.
They don't. Despite
Well,
the fact that they do understand the concept of nightfall versus daybreak, and just day in general, because of photosynthesis.
I'm not just
Yes,
a plant.
you
though.
are.
I'm
You're a
an enhanced-
mushroom and plant mix creation. You are
But
a
I'm
construct.
Fae. Yeah, but I'm
You
also like I
no,
literally
you
need
are
sleep.
Fae created.
Yeah.
You're a construct made by the Fae. That does not give you human
Everybody
anything.
needs naps.
You don't get to nap. I don't think you would be able to nap. You're a creation. You're a creation.
Well,
You're
creations need
you.
naps.
You as
Pinocchio takes
you
naps.
are not the body in which you are forming. You are that core. That core is your everything. It's your entire organ system. It is your brain. You are the core. Hence why you didn't technically die and this isn't a one-player game anymore.
Yeah, but like with that core, that's life So I would think I would need rest, but if not, I guess I'll stand there like a creepy person
No,
and
you
just stare off
really
into the.
wouldn't.
Well,
You're
how do I?
pulling in nature energy all the time. You don't
Well,
need
how?
to breathe. You don't need to
How?
technically eat, and you
How
don't
do
need to
I
sleep
gain the rest effects?
just by chilling out. I would argue, and I think it would be a good canon, and you can choose to roll with it or not. I'm going to let you decide that. But I would say that shouldn't you like take roots, like dig your rooted feet into like the ground, and that's kind of like you're resting because you're grounding yourself. Kind of like what is that Pokemon? Well, I guess just about every Pokemon does it.
The oddish looking one.
M- Yeah, most grass types can do it. They dig themselves in their feet into the ground and absorb energy. That's
Like
how they use like solar beam and stuff.
Bellsprout.
Yeah, they dig themselves into the ground at their roots with their feetsies and absorb like sunlight to do solar beam. So I would
Well,
say
an
that's
oddish
how
just
you
goes to the
would do
ground.
your long rest.
Hmm.
I would figure that would be the most accurate type of way that you would do a long rest or a short rest or anything. It's just by digging your heels into the ground.
Yeah.
Because you don't actually sleep. You can simulate all these things, but you can't actually do any of it. Like you're used to being human, so you simulating breathing is normal. Like that's just second nature because you've already been doing it for however long up until you came into this world. You feeling the concept of hungry is the same situation. You're simulating it, but you don't actually need to in your current state of being.
Okay.
Going to a restroom, I guess if you tried to go to a restroom, you would probably drop little sticks for poopy, and then like you would just pee sap, I guess.
Or do you?
Like or do, yeah, sappy do, sappy
Do
sappy do.
That's how they
Anytime you
spring
go
and
potty, I
do.
am now making it a thing that you have to go sappy sappy do
Sappy
every time
sappy
you go
do.
if you want to go pee.
Jesus. Like, yeah, it makes sense, I guess, to just dig my feet into the ground or roots into the ground to actually rest.
Yeah, I mean that you gather nature energy so long as you're in nature. Like when you guys go into the city, I suppose you would have to find some kind of dirt plot, a park, or
Go sit in
maybe
someone's
if you
planter box.
yeah.
Just get a pot to bring around with you with some dirt in it.
What are you doing in my planter, you fiend?
Taking a
I need
nap.
to
You can
rejuvenate.
paddle all of the roly polies and ladybugs you want inside your planter. Get off my lawn! Flicks the ladybug away. What do you think you're doing crawling in there? And flicks a roly poly out of your pot.
I can just imagine just the whole head cannon just flick
Just,
flick.
this is my island.
It's my flower pot. My home. You go get your own.
Flick.
Get out.
Adorable little bumblebee comes around. Flick. A dog tries to piss on your pot. No, you're too poor. Go away.
That's not the kind
No
of water
pot for
I
you.
need.
That's ammonia. It's bad for plants.
You're trying to
plants.
kill me?
I'm being attacked. Takes vines, wraps it around the dog, makes it have a leash, and just walks it over to the river and chucks it.
Oh, Jesus.
Goodbye, Fido.
Swim, it's a dog. Besides the fact that she just bound it all up in vines.
Only
So
partially.
the rabbit, you're going to sleep,
Yeah.
And Acorn, are you staying in the basement or are you going outside standing guard? What are you up to?
Are there any plants in the house?
There's the odd grass and stuff like that is like sprouting through, some moss and a bit of mold.
I'll go lay by the moss.
It's just on the strung down beams of roof and shingles that have came down in the
Okay,
house.
I hug it.
You hug it. You're just gonna
Yeah.
stand there hugging the moss.
Yeah.
Cool. I need you to flip me a coin, dog. You stand there holding the moss, and as you're doing so, you hear something from outside.
Oh no, what's that?
Do you want to go investigate?
I go investigate.
Cool.
Stealthily.
Stealthily. What are you? Yeah, I'm not doing the voice. I don't have the gumption to do it because of the time. What are you doing sneaking around like a weirdo? You hear
What are
from
you...
the distance the familiar voice of the other Spriggan.
Hey, you're alive! I'm so glad to see you. And I was worried it was something coming to attack us.
I need you to flip a coin for me. Your shouting of excitement of seeing that other Spriggan woke up the rabbit.
Why?
Rabbit, how were you laying and where were you laying?
I was laying. I would say not like immediately in front of where the oven is, but maybe a couple feet back.
What's a couple feet?
Um, Closer to like the doorway there.
That's
24 inches.
it's towards this doorway?
No, the other one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you get startled awake, you fling your hand back and it hits the shelf, causing it to topple onto you. Take 1d12 of damage.
Ew. Oh God. Why?
Grab it!
Is it D12?
Yep.
Okay. 9.
Hey, Courtney, you gonna go inspect, or what are you up to? You just heard a loud crash in the house.
Oh, well, the Spriggan, I guess it's still coming
Is
this way, right?
standing there, yes. But because
Okay.
you decided to yell, it something happened shortly after you yelled in the house.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. I gotta go figure out what this is. And then I
That's
go
my
investigate.
house. Why would I hold on?
Well, come inside with me! Hurry!
Don't order me around, baby. You little
Please.
sprout. What do you think who do you think you are?
I think there was a loud noise and we need to investigate.
Yes, your friend probably knocked over one of the many things that's easily knock overable while fumbling around in my home.
This place is dangerous.
You're the only thing that's creating danger I see.
Well, maybe if you could teach me how you did those things, I could actually be less clumsy.
I mean, I guess, but considering how you were earlier, even if I do, I feel like you would just get people killed. How do I know that I could trust you with knowing the way our people work?
I give my best trustworthy, friendly grin, and do finger guns.
You remember uh the husband and wife from The Corpse Bride? The fat stubby husband? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate that dude, so I don't. I never remember his name.
You remember the scene in that movie where they're like, "Smile, dear." The wife's like, "Smile, dear," and he's like got
He's
this weird
just, he is trying to
The crooked
force it.
smile.
He's trying to
gnarled
force
face.
it.
Like he's got bad gas.
Like he's never actually smiled in his life, but he also needs to really, really fart.
Fart.
But he's not sure if it's going to be a shart or if it's going to be a fart. Yeah, that's what I imagine your face looking like.
That's your headcanon.
I can teach you a couple things, yes. But nothing that I can imagine you causing too much chaos with.
Woo! I'm gonna learn new
As
stuff.
you and the other Spriggan walk to the house, you come inside and you notice that a part of the doorway off to your left, because this is your doorway that you're coming in from, off to your left, you see that the bookcase has clearly fallen over and the rabbit is struggling to push all the stuff off her.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh crap! Here, let me help you. I lift up the bookcase.
Yep, I need you to give me a d20 for that strength check, and I want you to give me two d100s. Okay, well, you didn't really do so well with your efficiency, but you were effective. You already did two, and
No,
you really weren't very strong while doing it. So yeah, you just kind of tossed it over her body. But now all that debris and everything got sprawled out this way. And now you have a miniature fire because the flickering embers that are popping in the house had got on some sprown pieces of paper that had made its way over this way.
I scrambled to put out the fire with some dirt
I want you, where are you getting the dirt from?
from outside.
So you're running back outside while the house with dry wood is on fire, beginning to come on fire.
Is there
And you're
is
gonna
there
run outside
is there water in the
to
basin?
go get dirt. There's no water in the basin.
Crap.
The basin's right here, and there's no water in it. She left you after helping get some of the wood and books and paper off of you to go grab dirt from outside. What are you doing? You're more or less able to move now.
Okay. I'm assuming this fire is pretty small.
You're right here, and it's growing by the second. Right now, I would say that it's relatively small. Yeah, it's not even close to the size of a campfire quite yet.
Okay, I'm gonna run over and stomp it out.
I need you to give me the two D100s and also 2 coins, please.
Okay. Okay. There's my 2D100s.
Okay.
Flip. And second flip.
Yeah, you definitely put out the fire pretty efficiently and effectively. But while doing so, you also put your foot through the floor 2 times in a row, causing the boards surrounding you and the oven to fall into the basement,
Oh,
causing
Jesus.
you 1d20 of damage and 1d8 of damage.
I got dirt. I got dirt. I chucked the dirt towards the fire.
That's non-existent. You're just looking at smoke. 6 fall damage and 7 fire damage. So 13 damage.
I'm at 13.
Yeah.
Cool.
How many times did I talk about that this place was falling apart and it was rotting?
Well, you said it was dry wood, so dry wood doesn't mean that it's rotting. It would be more moist.
Hold on.
No, what?
That
What?
that doesn't compute. But also,
What?
did you not earlier fall through the floor just by walking?
Yeah, but it would have been like more like moisture filled, right?
Moisture wick? And no, it would not. Wood is a classic thing that gets used, but it does have a lifespan. That's why people remodel houses. The more dry the wood is by age and time and without keeping moisture and stuff like that away, the more fragile wood gets. Like take the fence IRL, the fence that we tore out in the backyard. That wood is easily splittable and snappable. Why? Because it's super dry. It's rotting wood. It's dry wood. That's not a good thing. You want wood to have moisture. It doesn't have its moisture. It's not good. It makes it fragile. Those compounds of moisture hold it together better. You fell through the floor. You now have 13 health.
How did I
I
get
like how
how did I get fire damage though?
the oven just fell in there with you.
Yeah. Did it
Are you
spew
trying to tell
on?
me the ovens? Yes. That I told you the hinge isn't really functional. It's good for maybe 1 or 2 times to open or
That
close.
this more descriptors would have been nice to understand why I'm taking fire damage.
But I immediately was going through it
You did.
and took everything with your damage, and then you started combating me how it didn't make sense.
I'm not.
How was I supposed to
I'm
give you
not.
more descriptors?
I'm not combating you how it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm just trying to picture what is actually happening right now.
But you immediately went into something. How was I to continue with what was happening and give you your descriptors when you started questioning what was happening already before I finished? The hinge, the aforementioned hinge that I had told you is already weakened, as the oven fell through the floor along with you, creating an even bigger hole. The pressure of the wood that you put inside there smacked the door open on that rotting hinge, causing it to burst out and on top of you, which is your fire damage. Because that's fire.
Okay. Now I'm in the basement.
Now you're in the basement.
At least it's dirt down here.
At least it's dirt. You still took fall damage, though.
That's fine. That was inevitable.
Not if you were a Kinku or a Cochran. Eric Cochran.
Cochran.
They don't fall very fast. So they don't take as much fall damage.
If and any. Depending.
So now you're in the basement. The other Spriggan's like, well, maybe it's time for me to move. Because you two are trouble.
Sorry.
Oh, we were only planning to stay here for the night.
Yeah,
We were gonna be on our
well,
way.
the basement, there's another exit out of that basement on the far side. There's an old smuggler's tunnel down there, and stuff that you might find useful. I'm leaving this place, and I'm not coming back here. I'll go find somewhere, maybe, hopefully, more secluded, so people like you and her can't cause any chaos to my serenity more than you have since the moment I've met you. If you want to do things like bind other creatures with your vines, dig your feet into the ground, concentrate on mushing your hands into the ground, and getting your body to stretch up to them and grab a hold of them by expanding your power. It just takes a lot of concentration. So make sure you can. I'm not sure you can concentrate, but that's how you do what I did earlier for you. You can also use your body as a source of light, but I don't think that's going to work in your case since you're mushrooms. So you could probably find a way to make your mushrooms glow and create some low light. That might actually be advantageous for you in some cases. Another thing you can do is you can turn your body into weaponry in and of itself. You can turn your arms and your legs into different shapes by concentrating on the shape that you want it to become and what kind of hardening you want to add to it. But that too takes concentration. And it can easily be snapped out of, forcing you to revert back to your normal body appearance if you do not keep concentration. And that's all I can teach you. I'm out of here. This place is your problem now.
Wait.
Please do not find me.
Hold on, wait. I want to give you this parting gift for helping us.
They're walking away.
That was quick.
They're just not even paying attention. Watching this whole little scene, it was enough for them to just instantly regret coming back around you guys. Now, before the other Spriggan had helped you out of that hole, but now that Spriggan's gone. The trap door that goes into that basement is covered by fallen roof. So now your choice is starting with the rabbit. Oh, rabbit, from down inside that basement, now that it's nice and dark outside and inside, you can actually see the low glimmer of what kind of looks like a campfire light at a just minutely in front of you at a good distance. Probably 20 feet in front. But at an angle, like it's peering around a wall.
Wait. I'm in the basement, so how am I seeing a campfire?
Is that an outward thought? Or are you asking me?
It's an outward thought.
Okay. Hey, Card, what are you doing? What'd you be doing? What are you up to? Your friend's fallen in a hole. Linda Timmy's in the well. Also, what did you do with that flute? Also,
Give it back to the
what did
rabbit.
you guys do with that book? I haven't heard anything about that book in a second either.
We haven't taken the book out. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
chilling
it's
in
it's
your
been in
pack.
my bag.
Yeah.
Wait, you have a pack?
We have the bags that the potions
No,
and stuff were in.
you never were given a bag.
No, I had mentioned a bag yesterday, and you didn't say nothing about it.
Yeah, we
you
mentioned a
don't
bag a
have.
lot.
It somehow that's eclipsed my mind up until this
Like, I
point.
put fish in the bag, and then I put the spider food in the bag.
Fine, you got bags. I can't. If it's been eluding my brain this entire time, yeah, I never gave you a bag. You had a utility belt, kind of Batman style, to hold those files and stuff in. So now you have a small traveler style bag. And if we're doing that anyways, now you have a couple of other supplies with you. And in that supplies, you now have 100 foot of rope that could have been used earlier. Uh, for obvious reasons, maybe tossing my spear like a javelin type of situation. Uh, you have a skinning knife, and you have a assortment of what looks like a multi-tool. So like a swisher blade, what are they called? A multi-tool. It's just a multi-tool. It's got pliers, kind of the basic essentials, cork, screwdriver, that type of stuff. But only in this case, it's like a cork drill, a filer, a flint rod, and pair of pliers. And scissors. Teeny tiny scissors. That's what you have for that. So make sure you put that in your inventory real fast. I'll give you a second to do that. And mind you, the rabbit's the only one who actually has her pack. You definitely do not have a pack. You died. You don't have a pack.
That's right.
Okay, I got it in my inventory.
Yours went up in smoke. Yeah, I know. I've been watching it.
Okay.
I had to also delete acorns.
I was deleting mine after you said that
I
I
just
didn't have
delete
it.
the whole
I was in the
thing.
process. That's what I was doing.
Uh,
I could have deleted it.
do you want to convey what you're seeing down in that hole, maybe? Or no?
Well, yeah,
You
I was
wanna
gonna ask her if she
just
wanted
go?
out of the hole if there was anything interesting. Since you asked what I was gonna do.
You go ahead.
What be in that hole?
Won't be in that hole.
Would be in that hole. There is, I could see kind of like a campfire about 25 feet away from where I'm standing right now.
If you guys don't feel like having to repeat that type of stuff, you could just do the usual D&D thing. I convey the
Info.
new learned info to them
Okay,
type ordeal.
do that.
I mean, if you want to play out the part, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, campfire about 25 feet away from where I'm standing
Hey,
at right
we're
now.
an RP channel. That's RP.
Yeah.
But if you want to streamline it, you can just default to the classic mechanic of just saying, I convey the information to the rest of the party.
I don't know if you want to make your way down here, because take a look at it.
She cannon dives on top of you, giving you a d20 of damage.
And I
Yeah.
die.
Probably. Just out of my own sadistic, macabre curiosity, will
Oh,
you
Jesus.
roll me a d20 just to see what would happen
Just to see
if
what would
she had
happen.
did it?
Sure.
Yeah. I can't make her do that action. So this is just all purely hypothetical. Okay.
I
It would have only been 8 damage.
I would have still been a hurting unit.
Yeah. I can't go into the basement yet until she decides if she's going down there or she's going to pull
Well, I
you
haven't
back
had
out.
the chance. I haven't had the chance
Yeah.
yet to decide that.
Acorn!
Okay, Well, do you think we should actually check that out? The Spriggan said there's interesting stuff down there. It's an old smuggler's tunnel. So
Yeah.
we might be able to find something that might help us.
Yeah. Might as well. So come on down here and kind of look around with me.
Hey, I lost my rope. Could you maybe toss me up yours?
Why would? All right.
What do you mean?
I gotta hold back my commentary. I'm being very bad about that.
Well, I could jump down, but then there's the risk of.
Her moving out of the way and you totally not landing on top of her and risking injury. Yeah, who would have thought?
Well,
Logic, people. Come
I'll,
on. Do you got it?
I'll move out of the way so you can jump down here.
But wouldn't it hurt me to fall?
No. It's not that far. It's only about 6.5 feet. So you'd be fine. I think the normal fall damage starts at like 10 for classic D&D.
Do
Okay.
a super hair landing. It's
I'll
bad on
jump
your
down
knees
in the hole.
though.
I'm double checking that info real fast. 10 feet. Yeah. You can fall up to 10 feet without taking damage. But after that, you take 1d6 of bludgeoning damage for every 10 feet you fall, up to 220d6. So, yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. All right, we're both in the basement now.
So you are. So you guys are right about here? Yeah, right about here. You can't really see anything, so all of this is like hidden. It's all pitch black down here. You can see the flicker of flame because all of this is again, this is someone else's creation and I didn't really want to edit too much. Like I masked the top and I added this hole, but in this case, this is all ruined.
Okay.
So you can see into this hole that goes elsewhere.
Well, I can't really see much of anything.
Kinda
I don't
dark
want to
down here.
save this. As you can see, it says it's not saved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to edit over someone else's creation because I know that this website for Incarnate, it uses a lot of collab community stuff. And it's like if there was somehow a risk of me editing someone else's, hard-earned made work, I'm not doing that. So this is strictly for this. So I can't get rid of it until after the fact. You
Well,
guys gonna just head towards the light? Is that what's happening?
Well, I don't.
You got no torch. You have some embers, a little bit of flame. You could do something maybe with that. I don't know. Decide amongst yourselves. Both roll. Both going. Co-op. Yo.
How well are you seeing right now, Acorn? I know you maybe have better eyesight than I do in the dark.
No, she does not.
She doesn't. Okay.
Well, I have the dark vision stuff, but I don't know if that actually
It does not count in this.
scenario.
It does it with Infinium Sanctum, but it doesn't in this. Neither one of you will have a dark vision by inherent abilities. You will only be able to get that via a spell work from pickups or purchase. You don't have any inherent things because you wouldn't actually know that about yourselves. Hence why you guys are kind of not knowing what you're capable of doing. And right now, the only one who, as of now, only has any kind of clue of what they're capable of is you, Acorn. The rabbit doesn't even know anything about her par shifting abilities because of the requirements to actually activate those abilities.
Yep.
Which she knows. And I think I actually mentioned it in the first episode. So she has
Yeah.
to eat an entire creature, which the spider doesn't really count because you had some of it. You fed or tried to feed the baby dragon some of it. And they're fish eaters, but that means that she can't eat all of the meat from the creature, therefore, she won't be able to get the ability.
Right. I say we just move right towards the light.
That
How
sounds
you
like a
guys
plan.
moving? You walking at a city pace? Or how you doing this?
Slow, meticulous steps.
Give me a you know, a decent picture of how you're doing this.
Okay, so if we're in front of those boxes and stuff,
Yep.
go north a little bit.
You can cut straight across, but these type of things are in your way because this is just a stand-in. So
Okay.
this would be like the ladder that goes up to the second floor. Like they would have had to hoist all this type of stuff down in here. They wouldn't have walked it downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then yeah, I would say
It's a
just
smuggler's room.
cut straight across.
If you're going from here and you're cutting straight across, I want you to flip a coin. Because I just told you.
You said it wouldn't be there though.
This is here. The walls aren't here. These things are still here.
But
The walls aren't here.
you didn't say the walls.
It's exactly. The walls aren't present.
You didn't say
The
anything
items
about.
here.
You didn't say anything about the items staying there.
I told
You
you
said there was
these items are here.
You said there was nothing
There
there.
is none of this
You
here.
could cut straight across. There was nothing there.
Originally? Yeah, probably.
Yes, you
Fuck it.
did.
I don't care. Just go. At this juncture, I don't really care. I probably did get it twisted, and I'll admit it. I'll just default to I blundered.
Still want me to flip?
No, just yes, I do actually want you to flip. Regardless, you can't see. You're just going off of the information I'm giving you.
Heads.
Cool. So you were able to walk. I still needed the acorn to flip, though.
Okay. I didn't know if you needed me to as well.
There's both of you there.
Yeah, but
Well, then you both need a flip, don't you? Unless you're getting a piggyback ride. Are you getting a piggyback ride? Well, there you go. See, didn't matter anyways. Still got the heads. So as you progress up to the hole in the wall, are you going into the hole in the wall?
Yeah.
Are you going to let the boys see it all?
Gonna
through
go
the
in.
hole.
Gonna go in the hole.
Sweetness.
Wow. That's
It was
bright.
bright really fast for a second.
That was really bright.
It was really, really, really bright, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. I can see into the future.
Cool. So you can see that there's a bunch of vines, like roots and everything from the foliage above trees and all that. And a few thorny brambles are scattered throughout. And there's a torch that's cusping the area that you were seeing the light from a bit.
Okay. Are we able to actually see a little bit further down in there, or is it?
You can see what you see on the screen.
Okay.
You're right here, effectively, on the edge of the thing.
Okay.
So if you want to continue moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, your only other option is turn back, go through the basement, and try to crawl back up. So I need you to flip a coin. I need you to actually give me 3 coins. And that's for both of you.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I got 2 tails and a heads.
You got stuck on the first root system and tripped yourself up. Didn't take any damage, but you caught yourself on the other one, tearing a hole into your leather on the arm and having to sit there and struggle for a second to actually get yourself back out, and you get your foot unwedged from the other portion of the root system, and then you manage to get yourself right back up normally. Acorn couldn't figure out if she was staring at a part of herself at the first. She got a tails. So right now she's telling the first roots that she can see come down. Excuse me. I need to get past you. Excuse me.
Pardon me. Oh, sorry.
I need more coins from you. Oh, never mind. You
I
got 2
already.
coins. You got past the
Yeah.
first one. You got stuck between these. I didn't notice that you had 2 of them. So you got past the first one just fine. It was these 2 that you were just like, excuse me, I gotta get past you real fast. So I still need 1 more coin.
There's.
There's only 2.
It's. No, there's heads, and tails.
There's only I didn't see that you guys had mixed. Okay, so you're good. Never mind. I stand corrected. It was just at
The
this
last
point.
one is the mess up.
Yeah, the last one's the one that you had to say excuse me. Yeah, I didn't see that you had a coin in between the rabbits. And now you guys are more or less standing here next to the brambles. How do you want to get past the brambles? As you can tell, where this barrier is where the wall is. So there's technically a gap, but I'm going to have you both flip a coin unless you want to do something different if you're just going to walk past it.
I'm gonna hug the wall.
So you're just going to walk past? I still need a coin.
Walking past
Actually,
him.
no. Don't give me a coin. If you're going, hey, give me a dex.
Okay. 18.
You're good. You scooted across the wall up to where the torch is. So now you're next to the torch. And due to the fact that you can see the torch, there's a couple torches in here. So you can see all the lights. And to your right, you see green. Oops. I clicked on both.
No.
Scary, scary, scary.
Acorn,
I'm
are you going to try to do the
sidestepping
same?
around the brambles and then.
Cool. Give me that dex. You both made it past. Now you're both next to this. Do you want this torch?
Yes.
It looks like it could be possibly taken from the wall.
Yeah,
Wait, who's carrying this torch?
I am.
Not me because I am made out of.
I
life,
will
and that would
take
be bad.
the torch.
That's gonna
I learned my
make you every
lesson.
time. Every time you walk, I was going to make you flip.
I'm not gonna set myself on fire again. That's also why I grabbed dirt upstairs. I caught myself before I started to try to put it out with my hands.
Yeah, I will take the torch from the wall.
Okay. Now you guys have a torch on you.
We're
Alright.
able to see.
Well, before we actually proceed further, do you want to go back into the room, see if we can find anything decent in there?
No, it might be a good idea because it was pretty dark. So he said there was something in these tunnels. So. Yep, we're gonna go back.
Yeah.
I need 2 decks and 3 coins from each of you. Well, 1 deck per, and then 3 coins again. You're
Wait.
going back through the same thing you just went through.
Yeah.
No, I know.
You're going
Hold
to
on.
do the
Hold
same
on.
check.
Oh, hold on. So 1 dex for
Yes,
me.
1 deck's for her and 1 deck's for you. And then we need 3 coins again.
Okay.
I got an 11.
I can see that.
Okay.
You only have to beat a unspecified number. So
Oops.
still waiting.
Yes, you're waiting.
Cool.
Thing messed up.
So you guys got past the brambles again. I love this. You guys are gonna have to do this 3 times at the minimum. Acorn got herself stuck
They got
on
heads, tails,
all
tails.
on the last 2 pieces of vines sections of roots, I guess. I don't know why I call them vines. On the roots. It made it through. A rabbit got herself hooked again on the first set. Having to tug herself off it once more. And that's where you stop, rabbit. You are now stuck. I need you to give me a dex check.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
Now you are really stuck, and you have now fish hooked your mouth.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, it's not causing you any true damage yet, so
Hey, Acorn, can you, come in and help me real quick? I seem to
Are
be
you-
stuck.
What happened? And are you sure you want my help?
Yeah, if you could, grab my multi-tool from my leg and, cut this, line that's, stuck down my cheek.
So, can you describe to me, Rabbit, kind of how your headcanon of how you're stuck, since you're stuck in a way in which you even have a fish hook situation happening?
In my head canon, I am standing there, kind of like my head's tilted up a little bit with the vine kind of in the crook of my mouth, and I'm
And how
just
are your arms?
well, my one arm is just straight down to my side, but the one that has the torch in my other hand is kind of off to the, as I said, but the torch is in my right hand. The torch is in my right hand is kind of off to the side, kind of away from everything, my body and everything like that. The vines, it's not able to like catch anything on fire.
And your left hand?
It's just off. It's just at my side.
Okay. And how are you being fish hooked if you still have a free hand to unfish hook yourself then? If that's the case? If it's just your legs that have gotten caught up? By the way, these are all coming like from the ceiling portion. They're not coming downward.
I mean, I guess I could probably unhook myself because I.
They're like about halfway down, covering the area. So it'd be more like you're belt area up that would get any kind of caughtness.
Okay, so I still have like a free hand, I guess.
Do you? Why didn't you flip me a coin for that?
Kids.
You do have a free hand. So do you still need the acorn's help, or are you going to get yourself out? What's up now?
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself out.
Okay. Give me a dex check. Beat a 12. Just because I want to add a little bit of a challenge to it.
7.
You do not get yourself unhooked. And now you got your arm twisted up in the root system. And your left leg is also somehow beyond belief. Don't know how you managed to actually get it stuck in it. But now you're kind of just standing there hopping on one leg with a torch dangling in between the gap. And one leg caught up in the bigger root system. And now your arm is also stuck, tangled in that mess. And you're still being fish hooked.
Okay. Yeah, Acorn, I need
Would
your
you
help.
like a hand?
Yeah. I gotta have your assistance, please.
I don't know how you got yourself in this slapstick situation, but with a 7, you definitely did.
Yeah.
Be
All right,
happy
well.
that's probably generous and comical, but generous.
I grab the multi-tool out of her pack.
The multi-tool is on her back. I need you to flip 2 coins for me. Because you're going to have... And also give me a dex roll. Okay, you cleared the first one again.
Oh, it's too fast for the thing to keep up with it.
That's fine. Yep, you were able to get past, but you kind of stumbled and you pushed her, and now the torch is on the ground and been put out.
Oh, jeez.
Can we still see?
You can see faintly. There's still plenty of light back here, but about where you guys are is hitting the end of where the light is. The end of the light is just past the last root system, and you can't see anywhere close to back to the basement now. You got a 2. I couldn't just be like, oh yeah, everything's fine. It just fell on the ground.
Okay.
I need you to give me I'm just going to leave it as a regular strafe check. And I need a dex check for you untangling her and fish hooking her.
So 2 d20s.
Yeah, 2 d20s. I would do the effective and efficiency, but I don't really feel like it applies for this. I mean, it does, but I just kind of want to be able to move things along. So you failed your your dex check, but you failed the strength, or you passed the strength check. So as you dehooked her hands and her leg from the root system, and you're trying to get the root from de-fish hooking her, you still had the multi-tool in your hand, giving her a half-force smile
Oh.
and giving her 1d8 of damage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, be happy that she didn't
That's
do
real
much worse. How's that health doing? I have a feeling that you're like in the single digits now, right? You have 14. or 13 before?
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
13 and then minus 7.
Is he
6.
a 6?
Yeah.
Ouchie. That hurt.
Ouchie.
Well, look at you. You look very happy, even though it's not really a happy situation.
I
I'm sorry.
grimace at her.
As you're bleeding out all across your one side of your face,
Yes.
which that blood. Oops, I moved the torch. Get back to where you're supposed to be, torch. Stop it. As you, that blood attracts a spooter who seamlessly has come up. And you hear the traditional spider sounds, the weird, like squeaky sounds.
Oh no.
What is that sound?
I don't like it. It sounds a
And you
lot
hear
really familiar.
the lovely pitter patter. Little pitter patter sounds. And from from the light, you can see the 8-legged freak silhouette coming up to that opening,
No,
attracted
not
by the
again.
smell of blood. But this one is about the size of a German Shepherd.
Go away, spider. We are friendly, not food. Go eat something else.
We are way too big for you to feasibly consume. Go away.
I would arguably say that is absolutely not true.
I'm trying to lie to the spider. I know it's not true.
Yeah, lying to the spider. Good idea. As shortly thereafter, a second one appears.
Oh god. Acorn, you're gonna have to help me.
I'm trying to help you, but now you got a smile on your face.
Half
Okay, I tried it.
the crooked smile now.
Yeah. Well, the attempt to actually cut her down again.
You know what I need? Same rules as before. She's dehugged, at least. Yep, you got her. She's free. If not a
Okay, you're
little bit
free.
worse for wear.
Ouch.
So those weapons are iron damage, and they are swords. Doesn't matter the fact that they're dragon glass. They just look cool and pretty transparent, which makes it harder to block because you can't really see the um, slashes coming as easily. I'm looking for the one-handed sword. So one-handed slash is 20 slash to 20 through 28 piercing damage. You are now both in duo combat. And we are going to start with you because there looks of confusion on their what passes for looks of confusion as to what they just fell upon, which is a Spriggan and you, Rabbit, a bleeding human. So they're really confused.
You're starting with me or her?
You get this is a co-op situation. This whole thing's co-op. You
Well,
can choose to go one by one or plan together accordingly.
Yeah, you just initially said you, so I didn't know who you were talking to.
You as in you two.
Okay.
You
Now
too.
don't act like a cat and don't mew at me.
Mew.
You
I told you not
meow.
to mew, you two.
Meow say meow.
Okay, well, um, I'm a hurting unit. Their acorn, so I don't know how much help I'm gonna be, but I could definitely assist in the attack.
Okay, well, I learned a new trick from our Spriggan friends, so well first they look confused. I wanna try to talk to them first to see if maybe we can somehow reason with them.
By all means, go for it.
Hey, you eight-legged uh, pretty things. Not the other. I'm not gonna go for that movie. That's a hilarious movie. Uh, from another time. We come in peace and not in pieces. Please don't eat us. We're just looking to pass through.
And as you're saying that, the one on the right side runs at you both and completely disregarding Acorn goes in for the attack onto the rabbit. And the other one follows suit.
Oh no, rabbit!
The one in front takes both its front claws and starts lunging at the rabbit, lifting itself slightly into the air, going in for a piercing strike. This is your chance to react. If you can give me that reaction, that would be great.
Yeah, I was gonna get to it as soon as you're done talking. I'm going to unsheath my sword and point it at the spider and kind of lunge forward. I'm just meeting him pretty much halfway, like as he's lunging. I am stabbing.
So as he's airborne, coming at you, kind of at a slant because he's trying to tackle on top of you.
Yep.
You're just kind of doing a forward thrust. How are you gripping your sword? One handed, two handed?
One handed.
Okay. Well, regardless, you stab through its head and its abdomen, and your sword arm gets pulled to the ground along with the blade shoved through the spider, and it starts writhing as it dies. And the second one comes in and performs the same action.
Ow. Acorn, you want to get this one?
I take my sword and jump in the air and stab it in its face.
Uh, how does that work?
What do you mean? I can jump.
So it's a cave, like a dugout cave, right? Which means it's
Yeah.
not very high. So it's not really a jump. It'd be more like a hop. But since you said jump, I need you to give me a dex, a strength. Well, give me two dexes and a strength. And then I need also a coin. So your jump is your one of your dexes. The other dex is how it is your swing down and along with that strength. So you didn't very much do anything for that secondary, that slash down for your sword slashing, but you were able to only quote jump high enough to where you just kind of crest the top of the cave, quote quote. But you hit it with a 17, and but it wasn't truly that great of a damage, but you knocked it onto the ground, to which it runs back, and it runs backward just a couple feet and then comes in again completely disregarding your entire existence and going in at the rabbit. And it's jumping at her again. What are you guys doing?
I still have my sword in my hand, right?
Yeah. Have you pulled it out of the other spider yet?
Yeah. I pull it out of the other spider as quickly as
Okay.
possible and perform the same action that I did before.
I need you to give me 2d100s for your efficiency, your effectiveness, and then I need you to give me a strength.
Okay, 2d100. Oh, what the hell? That did not.
What is this? What is a 2? That's interesting. Don't know how that works. Oh, I popped up both.
There we go. And you said what
So
else?
you got a 69 out of fish for your efficiency, and your effectiveness is a 17, so it's not greatly effective, but shouldn't be no big issue. I need a strength.
Okay. Seven.
This one managed to actually get itself hit just right, and it caused a gash under its neck, making it fall on its back, and it wiggles itself around like a spider that's dying on its back, and it flips itself back over, and it shoots a glob of web at you. Give me a dex save, rabbit.
Okay. 3.
You totally just got yourself covered in web, and yeah, you're kind of stuck there for the moment.
Oh, jeez.
What is Acor doing at this point in time? This thing's turning around as of right now and is about to go in for another attack on the rabbit.
Acorn is planting her feet and attempting the vine trap thing that the
You want to rephrase
Brigand
that to from attempting
is
to
doing.
doing?
Well, doing. I'm attempting because I don't know if it's gonna work, so I'm just attempting seems like the right phrasing.
Why don't you give me a single? No, actually, do the same process as normal. 2d100s, and this time, the d20 will be for how effective. But go ahead and continue with what you're saying.
Just trying to trap the spider's legs
So you're
so it
not
cannot move.
okay.
So I'm not what?
Nothing. I can't say nothing on that front. I have already had a bad habit of helping you along. Can't be doing that crap. it kind of been veering your decisions in different ways. I'm a new DM. It's gonna happen a bit. As I get used to doing it, it will happen less and less. So your efficiency is good. How effective it was is not so good. And okay. Rabbit, you still technically have a mobility. I don't know if you want to do something about in your present situation as it lurches back once more, getting ready to pounce.
What do I have mobile right now?
Your legs, effectively, is all that you have.
Okay. Then
I would also like to point out that you're about to die, so you're really low in health, in other words.
I know. I'm doing something.
Okay.
As the spider comes lunging back at me, I'm gonna Spartan kick it right in the chest.
Okay.
Well, I don't have any hands, so I can't do anything else except kick it.
Go ahead and give me those two D100s in that strength check. That 69 efficient and effectiveness. Yeah, 86 is pretty effective. But it wasn't very strong.
No, it wasn't.
Give me another strength check, would you?
Okay.
Give me a coin flip.
Nope, not blip.
Okay. As you attempt to Spartan kick the spider, because you got a D2 and a D9, as you attempt to Spartan kick the spider as it's reared back, it grabs with its front like 6 legs, and it grabs onto your leg. But as it's doing so, it kind of forces your body to instinctively kind of hop into the gnarly roots that surround you, and carrying the spider along with you, which you got caught onto the roots and then you got released by the roots. So it caused the spider to actually get dragged on its back underneath as your feet come down to the ground with the spider hooked to your feet in tow, and you smash into its belly. It's now just writhing, trying to stab at your leg with its legs, but it can't quite get through the leather. But you still take a little bit of pain to the legs, but not enough to actually cause any substantial amount of damage because it can't get good enough leverage with all the roots kind of slowing its momentum down.
Mm.
So right now you have a spider that is continuously smashing its little leggies against you, trying to get from underneath your foot. What are you guys up to?
Acorn, come and stab this thing. I have it mostly pinned under my foot.
Well, he doesn't seem to actually care about me too much. He's only after you, so I should be able to get the drop on him. I take my
Oh.
sword and what?
Nothing. Nothing. I'm just.
That's just commentary. I'm just making commentary. It's not an
don't,
action.
you're fine. It's
I take the sword.
before you do this, I just want to rerun this by you. She's currently bound up from the torso up with her sword pressed against her, with webbing all over her arms and her face. Currently bound by that on the upper half and roots that's not allowing her to move much from that point in area.
Yeah.
Her one leg is fine, it's touching on the ground, and she's more or less Captain Morgan on the Pride Stone, standing on this spider that's the size of a German Shepherd, which means even where she's standing, it's only got about a couple feet in one direction or the other because she's on its center mass as it is trying to poke at her leg. Her legs are, by all accounts, still very close together, and she's very much confined and incapable of probably moving in any direction.
Okay.
Just to paint the picture for absolutely everyone before decisions are made, with the person who has 6 health left.
Well, I feel
There
like
is
whatever I do
more
now is
than one
going
way
to
to skin a cat that won't possibly do any irreparable damage to anything or anyone else. More than one way to kill a cat. Skin it, to cook it, an 8-legged cat, maybe. More than one way that doesn't put anyone else in harm, that doesn't require you to use something possibly clear and very sharp towards the person who's already close to death. Just painting this picture
It wouldn't
for
be towards her,
everyone.
it'd be towards the spider, but I'm gonna use my vines again and just bind the spider until it strangles it to death around its neck region.
One more time. More
Spider
than one way to
only.
skin the cat.
Spider only. I'm skinning it with my freaking vines. Strangling spider. No sharp bits at all. Just
I
strangling the
need
spider.
you to give me basically diameter, height, and a
I'm not good
good
at
enough
math and numbers.
description.
The
It
spider's
feet.
neck is wrapped with my actual stuff. The vines. Whatever the diameter neck of the spider, that is the diameter of the vines to where it shrinks and crushes it.
So you're wanting to garrot the spider while
Yeah.
it's underneath her. So you're only concentrating enough to do that? How are you doing this? And this is a very delicate situation, and
I
I
am the
need you
worst
to.
person to be involved with this.
Yes, but
Rabbit,
you
you're
are
better
the
off just
person
using
involved.
the sword to cut yourself free.
But she can't. She doesn't
I
have
can't. It's
any
If she
format.
wiggles,
It is
it
you.
wiggles.
Oh, it's web.
I'm gonna kill her. No matter which way
You
I do it, I'm too dumb for this. I'm gonna kill her.
can do it just fine. Just be very careful of what you're doing.
I take my sword and stab it up the butthole, avoiding the rabbit's extremities and any part of her body that would be near that section. Carefully stabbing the spider's butthole. Shish kebab.
So
The
you're
blade will
no
go
longer
fully into the corpse of actually the spider
you,
and nowhere near where she is
your
at.
roles are going to decide what happens in this case. You're telling me your action, then your roles
I
will
know
tell
that.
what's going to happen. So that's not up
You're
for you
not
to
helping
decide.
me by going. I don't know what to do. All I know is all of it seems like the wrong choice. So just stab it up the
Yep,
butthole.
which means okay, I need you to give me the effective and the efficiency and strength check and a dex check. So
Give me
two
the
D one
dice.
hundreds, 2D100s, 2D20s, and 2 coins. And Rabbit, you will, after she's done with that, I'm also going to ask for a dex check from you, a strength check, and a coin. So 2D20s and a coin flip.
Okay.
It wasn't very efficient, not really effective. And she got a tails on the
Those 2
one,
coin
but
flips,
she
right?
got ahead on the other. You go in trying to stab it up the butthole, and your blade completely misses the height ratio, just cutting it down the midsection, giving it a nice little gash that has clear evidence that it was just deep enough to actually fully draw blood and cause a notable cut. But your arm goes up with all of its struggling and just glosses across the rabbit's leg, cutting her armor. The spider is still pinned. What are you guys doing? Rabbit, you're still stuck in webbing.
Yeah, I kind of figured, so I can't do anything right now. I have the
That
spider
is
pinned.
not true.
How is it?
Think.
How is it not true? I have the spider pinned with one of my legs. The other leg is still trapped, isn't it?
No, your other leg is just touching on the ground. She already got you cut free like way longer earlier ago. The only things that are tied up right now is your upper torso and along with your sword and more or less your arm. But there's a bunch of strong roots with pointy areas that kind of hook and curl
Okay.
that are surrounding you like all over the place with maybe enough bodily movement that doesn't release a spider could maybe rip stuff or something.
Where? Okay,
Oh,
so
by the 9 levels of hell, use the roots
dude,
to pull the web
dude,
apart.
I was getting there. Calm your freaking tits. I was asking how far away from the roots am I actually? Am I feasibly
You're
able?
all, they're all around you.
So I'm feasibly
You could
able
probably
to.
wiggle your upper torso to grab probably enough to actually tear the web to where you get mobility.
Okay, well, that was my question. How far away from the actual brambles and stuff am I?
With the brambles, you're nowhere near the brambles. You're at these. Here, I'll
The
put the
points.
spider where that's at. You're right here.
Okay, well, the spider was down by the brambles, so I didn't know.
Yeah, I hadn't moved it. I got engrossed with the concept of her. You guys try to play with the sword, and you have no health,
Yeah.
and you wanted her to use a sword on near you and your person.
I didn't tell her to
I
use the
can't
sword.
keep on doing. I can't keep on trying to save you fools from yourselves.
I didn't tell her to use the sword.
Go, both of you.
Okay, I'm going to kind of wiggle myself against the vines and get the at least something free so that I can.
Give me a strength check.
Okay, 12.
Yeah, you were able to. It definitely pull around yourself, wiggle a worm enough to actually start snapping at the webs. It's not enough to actually give you enough mobility to really. You can do the chicken dance right now,
Okay.
but that not much else. You can continue to do that, but Acord, what are you doing?
Will you help me try to rip this webbing off of me?
What I was gonna do, just use my vine stuff to grip onto the other brambles.
These are roots. They're not brambles. Brambles are up here. This is brambles.
Yeah, we're nowhere near the brambles.
These are you guys are up here.
Use the small vines to go after the legs of the spider.
Okay, give me two D100s. And then a D20 for that strength check. It's not greatly effective, but it is decently efficient. That would be enough strength to actually hold down the size of a spider. You got a 10. Or is that an 18?
It's a 10.
Yeah, it's
10.
10.
So now the legs of the spider are restrained. Give me a coin flip, and this is just for the future. For the time being, as you're getting flipped through for, and I'm gonna have you do it again here shortly as well. But this is your concentration. If you're well concentrated, you're not very concentrated, but for the moment, it will hold the spider down. What are you guys up to now? Acorn is kind of occupied, so
I will continue to try to rip at the webbing around myself.
give me the two D100s and that strength check. I'm having you do it this way now because if it's high enough, you'll be able to pull what you need to actually free yourself. Yeah, and it's not super strong web. 24 efficient and 80 effectiveness is plenty for what you have left on you. And 8, it's good. It's not great, but between using the weight of your body, especially now that the spider's restrained, giving you more concentration time to focus on that.
Mm.
Give me a coin flip to actually say if you're completely free and mobile again or not.
Okay. Tails.
You are not completely free, but I would argue that you have at least your non-sword arm free right now.
Okay.
Acorn, do you want to give me that coin flip to see if you're restraining this sucker further? The spider's not doing much of anything. It's trying to bite at you guys, but heads don't really move that way. Cool. You keep it constrained. You got that heads. What are you guys up to now? You gonna continue restraining it?
I'm still gonna continue to restrain it because she's still not free, so I can't let go of the spider.
Okay. Rabbit, give me another coin flip. See if you actually get yourself fully free this time.
Okay. Tails.
Come on.
You don't get yourself fully free, but you definitely can feel your sword arm starting to get looser and looser. Do you want to try to pull off more of the webbing with the roots again?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me that two D100s again in that strength check. It's not very efficient, but it's more than enough at this juncture for the effectiveness. And that is enough to actually rip it enough for you to free your sword arm. 16 is well beyond enough that you would need. You would only need to beat like an 8 at this juncture.
Okay.
So your sword arm is now free. what would you like to do with your newfound freedom? There is a bound spider still underneath your foot, and that is being restrained by the acorn upside down.
Okay. Well, first I am going to remove my foot since it's being restrained by her vines.
No, your foot's
No, she
fine.
was trying by the spider.
The spider's legs are all restrained. Your foot is not being
Yeah, I didn't
affected.
touch you
No,
with these.
I know. I'm going to move my foot because you said the spider was still underneath my foot.
Yes, but you said you were going to move your foot because for vines are
No,
restraining your
no,
foot.
no. I
Yeah, you
said
did.
Yes,
no.
you did.
You guys weren't listening at all. I said I was going to move my foot since her vines are restraining the spider.
No, you
No.
misspoke. It's
No,
fine. Continue.
it's on the recording. It's fine.
It's on recording. It's fine. Just go.
I'm going to move my foot since it's safe to do so. And I'm going to take my sword and stab straight down where my foot was.
Give me a strength check. I'm not even going to have you really do any of the efficiency stuff because
17.
yeah, you plunged it. Your sword's a little stuck in the dirt though, so.
Ow.
But yeah, you were able to plunge your sword through the abdomen of the spooter. It makes a little squeal sound, and dies. The legs give out, giving no restraint against her bindings. And you pull out your sword after you kind of have to wiggle it a little bit, causing some squashing sounds from the internals of the spooter. And you have killed 2 spooters. 2 baby demon spooters.
Yay, we got a.
Okay, well. Now we got spider carcasses again.
Yep, sure do.
Yep. Do you want to pack up the spooters or you going to leave them there for the time being? Are you going to try to find another torch and go back into the basement and everything? What are you doing?
Well, is the torch just like completely gone, or where is that the one
No,
that I
it's
dropped?
just
No,
put
it's
out.
out. It's out.
You have a
Well, there's more
multi-tool.
torches in the rooms.
There is more torches out this way, yeah.
There is.
This room is still plenty lit. It's just dark past this point. And you have a multi-tool that actually has a flint on it.
Yeah,
As a sparker,
which is
which
why.
you just need. Do you want to pick up the torch again? Is that what
Yeah.
you're trying to get at?
Yeah. Which is why I was asking where the actual torch was, so that way I could pick it up.
It's more or less next to where the spider is, next to you. Feel like right here. So it'd be about where your left foot would have been. So you're fine to pick it up.
Okay.
You want to try to flick it back on?
Yeah.
Give me the 2D100s and give me that coin flip. It lit up a little bit, but it sputtered back out.
Well, crap.
You want to try it again?
Yeah.
Give me just a coin flip this time.
Okay.
This time it worked. You tried it a second time right after you were already trying the first. And it lit up. You now have a lit up torch that it shows you this whole area.
Cool.
You could continue heading back or explore the rest of the cave.
Well, we've already gone back this far. Might as well keep going back to that basement storage area.
Might I suggest maybe not? Or if we do, if you would like to explore the basement, I think it'd be best if we don't fully go all the way back there. Or at least not all of us because of how terribly.
You gotta split up the party again because that worked
No.
so well before.
Well, I've almost killed her so many times. I'm just like trying to
You
keep
turn
safe.
yourself into a nervous wreck.
Okay.
I literally I don't want like we got so much damage and have to go back through all this stuff again. So
Okay. No, that's
if
fair.
it minimizes,
I will give you a fair warning. You guys are on this side of the roots.
yeah,
You're
which
on
is like
this
right in the
side,
middle.
which
Yeah, so
means
we
you
still have to
will
go through.
still have your QTE for these three.
I
Well, these
know. That's
two.
what I know. So it has still have to go through it like multiple times.
Yeah, we'll just go to the cave. I am gonna do something real quick. I'm starving. I'm gonna eat this the entire spider.
One of them or both of them?
Just one of them for right now.
You're just gonna leave the other carcass here.
I'm gonna take it with us. I'm just eating the one.
Okay. So you take some time. You slurp out all the innards and eat all the meats that are inside the spooter,
Nom 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 nom
leaving
nom.
behind its carapace and some its venom sacs and its fangs and mandibles. Do you want to keep those anything else from it, or
Yeah, I'll pack up the rest of it.
and with eating the thing raw and whole of all of its meaty innards, it tastes gross and slimy. But as you finish eating from that compulsion, you start feeling a surge of power from within you, transforming the hairs on your arms and your hands into these fine silken looking furs.
Whoa.
What's happened to you?
You will also feel a little tingle on your forehead, causing you to have another format of sight or something. Something it feels like you have more eyes than normal.
My head feels a little tingly. What's going on with my head right now, Acorn?
I don't know. It almost looks like you have more eyes.
And just as quickly as those eyes appear, they also disappear.
And now they're gone.
Okay. Well, that was weird.
I almost want to say it looked like a spider.
Hmm.
Are you Spider Man?
Do you want to yell some quips, or do you want to try to go whack whack with some webs?
I'm gonna try to go with the whack whack with some webs, but aim it at a vine that's or a root that's on the wall.
Which one of these?
Uh, the bottom one. Yeah.
You take aim and you do a classic man spider love symbol, and nothing happens.
No. Okay.
But your fingers seem to be sticky to your own palm a little bit.
It kind of feels like Velcro. That's weird. I wonder. I'm gonna try climbing up the wall.
Give me a strength check, please.
14.
Yeah, you find yourself hanging from your hands from the roof nests of the ceiling nests of the cave.
Ew. Look at that. Look what I can do, Acorn. I climbed walls.
Oh,
I'm going to use
that
the
could come in
scooter.
handy.
You can currently at the spider level with one ingested spider, you have gained the power of wall climbing. You, as a par shifter, the more of one creature you eat, in its entirety, everything that is considered meat does not have to be its flesh, has to be its meat organs. That's all it has to be. And if it is a skeletal creature, you are required to have its eyes, its tongue, and its bone marrow. But for each creature, you will gain multiple aspects, up to 3 different aspects from those creatures.
Okay.
So this is level 1. You can go up to level 3. And at third level, you will also be of your own choice and volition, be able to choose 1 of 5 parts of your body to change into that form. But you can only harness the power of 1 creature at a time.
Mm.
So if you wish to have the sight of a spider, which means your visual prowess and perception checks, you will only, at level 2, you will only be required to beat a 10 on any perceptive check. And at level 3, you will only be required, if you're using the head of a spider, you only need to beat a 5 for perception checks.
Okay.
At level 1, your senses to danger and coming are also raised, and you will be given a extra dex check to dodge any incoming attack that you may or may not be aware of, which is called an instinct check in your case, specifically your case.
Mm.
At level 1, it starts from there. So right now you have the power of climbing of like a spider, which means you could stick your hands to most surfaces. You can use your feet. However, the only way you're using the spider parts of the feet is if you have no shoes on, or stockings, or anything that covers the
My
pads of your
tootsies.
feet.
Yeah. Makes sense.
At level 2, you will actually gain its venom abilities, and those are restricted from your hands or your feet or your bite. Your face will not change into fangs and mandibles. However, you will have the fangs, which will distort your speech. However, if you were to bite someone, you will also have a roll of a d20, and you will have to beat a 15. And if you surpass 15, you will paralyze your enemy for the next minute.
Okay.
At level 3, you will also gain the ability to choose the effect in which you want to do to someone. And it's one of 4 things. You can cause paralysis, you can cause them to fall asleep, you can cause them to burn through their own veins. It's necrosis, effectively.
Mm.
Or drink their blood and liquefy their internals to start eating that creature. Your abilities for changing out has to be the full devouring of the meat and organs and bone marrow, depending if it's a bone creature. Only after a full creature, you will lose the abilities of the spider and go to that creature, whatever it may be. So
Okay.
up until that point, you will have the abilities of a spider, but it only lasts for 3 days at its maximum unless you ingest more spider meat. If you wish to continue to maintain the powers of spider, you will have to at least have a pound's worth of the meat to sustain the power. Once it's fully out of your system, that is all there is to it. You're back to being a regular human strength ability person. With the consumption of a full creature, you also will gain 25 health back to your full health. So as of now, you are back up to what? 31? Because you're at 6, right?
Yeah, I'm at 6, so 31.
So you're back at 31. Also at level 2, you will be able to do the whippies. So, the whippies.
The whippies.
Your webs cannot exceed the amount of walking speed you have, which is 30. So you have 30 feet.
Mm.
At level 1. At level... that's for the webs. They start at spider level 2. However, that's spider level 1 for the webs. So each of your abilities that you obtain from each level of spiderdom can also be upgraded to level 3, surpassing the standard level 3. So it would be level 5 if it went up to level 5 to gain the power of level 3 spider web ability, which will allow you to shoot globs at level 2 and funnels shapes like nets from your mouth at level 3. You got all that?
I mean, definitely have to write that down.
Okay, I can write it all down.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
You want a flow chart with that? Because it sounds like you need a flow chart with that.
I know.
Flow chart with a diagram.
I just need a
The whole diagram.
list with bullet points.
If you want to eat spider number 2,
Yeah, I want to eat spider number 2.
that's what I fucking thought you would want to do. Cool. So now you have level 2 spiderdom. You now have the ability to shoot 30-foot long web. You can pull. You can cover like the face of something. You could extinguish flames. However, if it's not something that your globby webness can actually cover, it will start to burn your web. So just be careful on that fact. You will also now have the sight of spiders. So now you do have a low format of dark vision.
Yay.
But your dark vision is not actually regular dark vision. It's more thermal.
Okay.
So you'll be able to see heat signatures in the dark. It's not so much giving you open sight. So you'll have a dark vision, but you're picking up the heat signatures. Not so much the normal. However, also at level 2, you are also gaining the scent of blood. You can find wounded, bleeding creatures by the scent of smell. You'll be able to track them, just like the spiders just did to you.
Okay.
The Spriggan has been living here for quite some time, and you started bleeding. Therefore, you became its target because Spriggans don't have blood. They have sap.
They have dew.
They have dew.
Dew.
That's their tears.
Yes.
Anyhow, where are you headed?
Gonna go down and around and hug that wall near your... Yeah, right there.
I need that check.
D20.
Yeah. Hold on, I have a brilliant idea for you.
Yeah.
Technically, this isn't supposed to be my problem, but there's no freaking way you're gonna actually think about doing this. Why not actually use that new gained ability of spider webbing to shoot a web on one side of it and force the brambles out of your way, so you don't even have to actually worry about it.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I definitely would not have thought about that. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot my web at the brambles and shove them out of the way.
You're free to walk through.
Yay!
I'm not giving you a check for these things because it's instinct. They're the spider's instinct.
It's an
It would already
innate.
know how to do it because it's instinct.
Okay.
A spider isn't taught how to make those beautiful, intricate webs. They just kind of know because of again and again doing it for multiple generations.
Mm.
It becomes instinct. These are thorny as well. These are just roots. Thorny, roots. Thorny, thorny, thorny. Roots, roots, roots.
Mm.
So you guys are right here, right now. Because you haven't went anywhere else yet.
Okay.
I
Then.
assume Acorn's with you, so.
Yes.
Okay.
We're still together.
Cool.
So this is what you could currently see from your perspective. Technically, you can't see all of this, but I don't really get to dictate that type of stuff.
Mm. And do you want to continue going straight forward, or do you want to go to the our left? I guess.
It'd be continue straight.
Okay.
That seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Straight is this way for you guys because you're currently standing here facing like this. So you're heading here?
No, straight down.
No, straight down. So south. That path that's straight across from the other.
Yeah. Kind of.
And are you following the walls,
Hugging
trying
the
to
wall.
stay clear of this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as we go along, pushing the brambles and roots out of the way with my webbing.
Well, these. You guys are fine. This
Okay.
area is clear right here.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I did that before continuing.
And there's another little torch. I'm gonna say you guys are right here now. There's another little torch, but this one appears to be affixed to the wall. That's why it looks different.
Yeah. Kai.
It's literally called a wall torch. So
Just continue
guys
hugging
went this
hugging the wall, moving
you
that.
guys are heading down in here.
Yeah, and move that root out of
Yep.
the way. Whee.
You got another torch that could be grabbed if you so chose.
I'll leave it since I have the one already, and she can't grab it. So
Well, not
Safe to
safely.
assume you're gonna push that.
yeah. What is that over there?
This or
Perception check.
this? What are
The-
we looking at?
The chest.
There's only what you could see. You were literally lighting everything up with a torch.
I was talking out loud.
I was talking to her. She said perception check.
Oh.
I was just clarifying this is what you can see. This is technically vertical. I was going to put it like this, but it makes it look even more like it's just a hole.
Like, is it a hole that goes straight down, or is it a hole that goes through?
I said it's vertical. Horizontal's floor, vertical's wall.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you were just talking about the orientation of the actual hole, not like.
And just to be clear, this is a chest. It doesn't quite look like a chest, but this is actually a chest.
Okay. Well, Acorn, do you think we should go and try to open up that chest?
Yeah, after we inspect what the actual chest looks like on the outside.
Okay.
So I'm gonna inspect the chest and what it looks like.
The exterior of the chest.
Yeah.
Okay. It has two steel or iron riveted braces over the top, a clasp that you can kind of see since it's technically against the wall. You can kind of just see the clasp on the back. Has a center clasp on the front that looks like it has. Well, it doesn't look like it has a loop where a lock could go, but it doesn't actually seem to have a lock there. And the same type of shape of metal bracing on the bottom, and it just looks like a chest. Nothing all outward spectacular about it. Just kind of been here a while. Got a little bit of webbing on it.
Okay. No markings or anything
No,
to build stern.
it's a pretty nondescript chest.
Okay. I open the chest.
Inside the chest, you find 50 gold. You find one rejuvenation potion, one health potion, two antidote, and you find a little gem. It's a blue gem. It looks like it could go into something or came out of something,
Okay.
with a note that tells you along with everything that tells you to go and get this gem appraised before we show it to the boss. And just says by X.
Wonder who the boss could be.
And that's all that's in that chest. Make sure you put that stuff in your inventory.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing now. It said it's a pink gem or red?
Blue.
Blue?
Blue.
Is it
Okay.
blue?
Okay, I was confirming because I figured I was wrong on the coloring.
Yes, you were.
That's why I'm asking.
You said every color besides anything close to blue.
Well, yes, the class is aware of that.
Yes, and so is anyone who watches this.
Yes. Blue gem, 50 gold, and rejuvenation.
It
Yep.
One
was
rejuve,
2
one
health.
health.
That was 2
No,
health.
One
one
health,
health.
2 antidote.
Oh, yeah. I got those numbers mixed around.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and give the potion to the rabbit so she can use it.
The health potion?
Yep.
Yeah, would that be the
That's
potion?
what she said. She didn't say rejuvenation.
Oh, she just said,
Or antidote.
you just said the potion. There's 3 different types
But
in there.
But she
yeah,
said
but
health.
Health did not come through.
Oh, I
but
heard health.
also, if I will point out, if it's a different potion, it will be antidote, rejuve. I will specify.
Okay.
I
Because they
mean,
actually do have different names.
they do. Antidote is just called antidote. Rejuvenation is the first word, but so is health potion for health. So
Okay, I'm gonna drink the health potion.
And technically, we have been calling it a rejuvenation vial, not potion. So she does have a kind of a point there.
Also, you've
Okay.
been like dying, so I wanted to make sure to give you health.
Yeah.
You need to roll that D100 for how much health you're regaining from that.
Okay. 70.
Yeah, you good. You're back to 100. You cannot surpass. I don't do temp health because that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I took a C4. I have more energy than I had. No. Your brain is sending signals that you're using adrenaline.
I'm still
You do
tired,
not
but
have more
faster.
energy. Yes. That is an accurate meme for that. You are. It's been a hot second since you've been full health.
It has. It feels nice.
Safe to assume you guys are going back up.
Yeah, we'll go back up before we go into the hole.
And
'cause
I'm going to assume you're going to continue to move this stuff out of your way and follow
Yep.
the wall.
moving.
We're going to just jump to the point where you're right here. Technically, you have a path up here. And you have this path. Now,
Well,
mind you, I can't really dictate how this is actually appearing, but it is just laying on the ground. It is not actually hanging or anything. This is strictly just kind of almost like a tripwire situation.
okay. Well, what do you
I
think we
feel like
should
that's
do?
an important caveat.
Yeah.
Probably shorten it up just to make it more obvious.
Think we should just head up straight, or should we take this path over here first?
From where you were, you can see that there's another torch back here
Is there
as
anything
you made your
else
way up here.
that we could actually see back there?
No, you wouldn't be able to see the other thing that's up there.
Okay.
Well, I say I would travel up towards that direction where the torch is.
Okay. Scooch along the
Hugging
wall.
walls and avoiding the
moving roots
finds
and
and rebels.
shit.
As you come up to this area, you see another takeable torch, and you see a lever on the wall.
To pull or not to pull? That is the question.
Is there anything special looking about this lever, or is this your typical lever?
It looks like it served a point at some point in time, but as to what, you have no idea. It's undiscernible.
Okay. So there's not like any markings or anything on it?
Nah, if you're anything like me, pulling a lever just because it's there is usually the fun thing to do, even if it doesn't seem to have any kind of function. You never know if you are making a trap or open a door somewhere down the line or killing a possible enemy down the line. Like, is it a security thing? Is it an opening? I like pulling levers.
Well.
I will sit there and just flick the crap out of that bean in Minecraft
Yeah.
just because it's fun to do.
Tick, 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 tick,
Usually
tick,
it's just
tick,
to open up hidden doors and shut them just because I'm amusing myself with my own creations. But, you know, I digress.
And the thing next to the lever, what is that? Is that just a root?
It's
This
a torch.
No, the to the left.
Oh, this is roots.
Okay. I wasn't sure. It
Just some
looked kind of weird, so figured I would ask.
Yeah, it's the tiny roots.
Okay. Well, Acorn, do you think I should pull the lever, Crunk?
Wouldn't she be crunk in this?
Yeah.
Yep, we should totally pull the lever.
Okay, pulling the lever.
You
Crank.
pull the lever and you hear nothing for a short time. Dead silence and the sound of popping flame. And then you hear something that you can't really distinguish.
Okay, well, that was an inquisitive sound that just happened. Not sure what actually happened, but I guess we'll find out eventually. Maybe. Who knows?
Or hopefully not, because that didn't sound like a good sound.
Well, I mean, we don't know what kind of sound it was. It's just a sound.
And
Well,
then lava starts
it
pouring
sounded like
through.
it sounded kind of like a flamey situation, and I have had enough fire for like 1,000 lifetimes.
You're the one who burned yourself in the tree. You have
Yeah,
no one to
and I've
blame
been.
but yourself.
I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just painstakingly taking precautions to try to keep myself away from any sort of dangers like that again, and bad choices.
Or sitting on people that have shards inside their person.
That's not with flame.
True. It came
We're
from
talking
flame.
fire here.
Along with flame, you did step on someone or sit on someone who also had fourth degree burns.
Yeah,
So-
but it's just past tense.
Okay, are we
Now,
going back down to the area
But the
that we had
point
passed
is,
before?
fire bad.
point is fire bad. Are you heading back south?
Yeah.
Safe to assume you're going down this path.
Yup.
Correct.
Moving, pushing. Goodbye, roots.
Dancing to the groovin'.
We have come to a fork in the road.
Oh no. What do we... Can we see anything?
You can see all kinds of shit. There's all kinds of
shit?
stuff that
What
can
shit?
be seen.
What shit can we see?
Well, you already can see what you can see now, so.
I think
This
For
we,
the
should be your
viewers.
technical view. So you're right here, right now, at this point. So you can see what you see right this second.
Up.
Which is down this path, you can see blockage. Down this way, you can see there's some crates and what looks like the side of a ladder. You'd be seeing this little side over here. But you can see there's a bunch of roots and some crazy brambleness going on over here. But you can't really see what's past it, even though you've seen it. I didn't have enough time trying to rush to get this going because I did this right before we actually started. So, and I don't do full like storyline crap, so it gets made up on the fly, and with random Jen's assistance as well. But not in any of this is all me.
Okay. Well, down in that corner, it almost looks like there might be an exit over there. So we can either take the exit or go check out what's over with that big brambly section.
well, I would like to see if there's anything in those crates that are sitting over by the ladder, and that we can venture over that in the other direction.
These crates?
Yeah.
There's nothing. They're just crates.
They're just crates.
That's just great.
I hate you. Anything that actually has some kind of treasure, I will be putting a open treasure chest underneath.
Okay. Okay. Well, there's nothing over in the crates or and stuff. So
Well, an exit.
I said that in the crates. Nothing in the
So are you
crates.
heading this way?
Yeah. Push, push, push.
There's no
Push
way to
me.
symbolize that this is actually getting pushed up into the ceiling, so it just sits there.
And as a touch me, that I could get my vine affection.
She's not wrong.
No, she's not. Okay. Uh,
Bloop.
push.
It's got.
You
Whoa.
enter an open room with a large root system that has like seating and all kinds of like makeshift house from these weird vines and roots. And you
Interesting.
kind of can surmise that this must have been the hidey hole where the Spriggan made its home in this little smuggler's den.
So this is where he was hanging out.
Okay.
It's a she, actually.
This it's kind of creepy in here, but
Technically, it's hermaphrodite, but whatever.
The-
I mean, check out the crates that are down over to the left of us.
These ones?
Yeah.
On top is this little origami, and attached to it is a note it says that these were given to generals and high ranking officers in times of retreat, and it would send you back to the city square from anywhere.
So the origami itself would do that.
Yep, it's called a homeward origami. Are you taking it? Or are you gonna leave it?
Taking it. Homeward origami.
I took the idea from the homeward bone that sent you to the nearest bonfire from like Dark Souls. But I wanted to put it more into your guys' alley, so I chose the origami instead of a bone.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, nothing in the crate. I'd assume you're just going down the line here.
Yep.
fishing pole.
Nothing in the crate. Do you want to take the fishing pole? It looks like it's still in relative condition, although the reel itself seems to kind of be stuck. Why don't you give me a status roll? It's 1d100 for that. And the higher the number, the better. If it's above 50, it just needs some basic operate. Oh, okay. No, it works. It just it apparently has a safety pin, which is really weird for a reel. It makes sense for a gun, but not a fishing reel. It you just click the safety pin and it functions as if nothing was going on. Everything else seems pretty good. That line, however, looks a little gruddy. Why don't you give me another status roll?
Okay.
Yeah,
Roll it, Rabbit?
yeah, you can both roll. I don't really care who. You could both be examining the same item. That's actually probably for the better if you do, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I was playing, I'd be like, we should both look at it because maybe my eyes aren't as good as yours as to how well this thing is.
Yep. Come take a gander.
You want to take it or you gonna leave it?
Yeah, I'm taking it.
You end up with one adventurous fishing pole with 300 yards of line.
300 yards.
Not that that's really all that helpful here.
Well, yeah.
Since, there's a river. Could be useful, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
There is 5 gold in a skull with jewels in its eyes. You can't really tell what kind of jewels they are,
Do they have like
but
a discerning color?
they are a yellow in color. And they kind of resemble the same ones that came out of that chest from before. But these ones look shapely and sort of clear. I would say cloudy, in fact. And that's all that's in there.
Okay. I'm gonna grab both of those.
These are weapon. Oh, they're in the skull's eyes. They're socketed inside there.
You just have the 5 gold and the skull was in there.
Yeah, the 5 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 5 gold in a skull with socketed 2 yellow gems, cloudy yellow gems in its eyes.
Okay.
These are tool rack or weapon racks. Don't mind the fact that they actually show weapons on there. You'll have to go inspect them if you want to find out if they have anything.
Shall we go inspect the rocks, Acorn?
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna go inspect the racks.
You walk over, you look at the racks, and the one towards you does not have anything. The second one does also not have anything. But the last one here also has nothing.
Oh. Okay.
And from your sight, you can see that there is clearly a dead skeleton of a person. You don't really know what kind of race it was. Half of it seems to be gone, and it's sitting in front of a chest. But this one's different than the prior ones that you've seen before. It looks grander, richer, in fact.
Sus.
Is there any discernible markings on it?
No. Where like on the other ones, instead of having a loop where you would put like a lock through in the class, this one has like a keyhole.
I feel like we should leave that chest alone for the time being and look at the other stuff that's around here and then come back to it.
It's probably a good idea. Especially since there's a half a skeleton just chilling
Yeah.
right next to it.
Yeah. Okay, then we're gonna venture back up next to the Iron Maiden and inspect the crates that are next to it.
animals.
As you walk past the Iron Maiden, you hear sounds of screaming coming from the passage that you came through.
This Spriggan was a freak.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, screaming is not good. I don't know. Oh, and the exit's back the way we came.
Nope, I don't know either.
Shit.
Then let's quickly go through these crates and then maybe get out of here.
Nothing in the first one. There is a empty quiver and a bow, a tribal bow, chilling leaning against this crate. But nothing in the crate.
Okay.
There's nothing in this crate, but as you move this crate to try to get to the other one, you notice that there is a gem that looks like the mana shard that the robot voice gave you.
Hmm.
But it looks like there's markings like it used to set into something once upon a time.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that mana shard. Acorn, do you want to grab the bow and quiver?
Yeah, I could take it, but I'm not really good with projectile weapons. So you might find more use out of it than I would.
Well,
Or
it's
we can
just
put
for
it in
you
the
to
demi plane.
hold.
It's just for you to hold for right now.
Also, do you even have access to that demi plane still?
I guess we haven't tried yet.
We should.
Should you?
I mean, she
I
hasn't
didn't.
died or anything, and there's the marking on her hand.
Mm-hmm. But she hasn't even tested out that marking.
Not yet. No.
No. One mana shard question mark. Since it looks like it, and you think it is, but you don't actually know that. So I would say put it as mana shard question mark.
Okay.
And there is nothing inside that crate. Are we checking this chest?
Yeah.
Inside that chest, you find a baby's rattle and a note that says, I do hope you'll pay my money. Real soon. Dawn's coming.
Oh no, it's the jester.
You don't know that. Shut your face.
She. I swear she actually told me about that before.
Oh, she definitely did, but you have no clue if it's for her or anything. So shut your face. There's also a jester's cap.
Okay.
Yeah, there is. So, the
But nothing
storytelling.
in that crate.
So it's just the baby's rattle in there in the note.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we take the baby rattle.
Okay. Do you want to inspect that baby's rattle at all?
Yeah. I'll look at it.
It's a vibrant blue painted rattle that the ball top is in the shape of the same kind of jester cap. And as you pick it up and you hear it rattle, you just hear
Oh, that's creepy.
Are you taking the jester's cap?
Yeah, I'll take it.
A curse is a curse. To the south, you see a skeleton that clearly had perished upon the rack.
Neat. Okay.
That's one way of putting it, I guess.
What of those like crystals and stuff that are over there?
They glow a vibrant red. And other than that, you have no idea. You want to investigate them?
Yeah.
Okay. Describe to me how you're investigating them.
I am going to kind of hover my hand over the side of the crystal, kind of see if it's radiating any heat.
How far would you say that you're hovering your hand over them?
I would say probably about couple inches.
Okay. Uh, why don't you give me a perception check?
Okay.
Remember, you just have to beat the 10.
12.
There you go. As you're putting your hand over the crystals, you notice there is a bit of warmth, but it's like a lukewarm.
Okay. Are these. I'm gonna kind of poke it a little bit and see if it's like loose any.
You okay? Choice. As you poke it, it crumbles away. And as it does, you feel a surge of vitality and then coursing throughout your body, and you gain 25 permanent health.
Sweet. Where
So
can I put that
you're
in
at
there?
125.
I just put 125.
Yeah, that's. I don't do temp health. That's just a health upgrade.
Okay. Sweet.
So the only thing you guys haven't checked is the chest. Are you guys taking this bow?
Yeah,
Was that confirmed?
I
Yeah.
already took it.
Yeah, she put it in
I
Okay.
her
put it in the
inventory.
truck.
A Spriggan holding on to a bow and a empty quiver. The head cannon's kind of cool.
Mm.
Seems kind of unnecessary if you can stretch your body through the ground to like wrap or spike someone, but who doesn't like a good whacking made out of vines?
Okay. Then last thing we have to check is that chest over there.
Okay. Are you just looking at it?
Yeah, kind of inspecting a little bit more. I'm gonna take.
It looks like a mahogany wood with what you're guessing is probably steel instead of iron.
Okay, so this chest is more reinforced looking than the other ones we come across. Kind of looks out of
As you're looking
place.
at it, the skeleton doesn't seem to have the neck vertebrae or skull. And it's also missing the collarbone and the top two ribs. It's also missing an entire arm.
Okay, So, how is this skeleton orientated? Is it leaning towards the chest?
Yep.
Okay. Um.
I vote we leave the chest alone.
Actually, I'm gonna go on a whim here. I'm gonna grab some of that spider meat that's in my bag that I carried along with me and throw it at the chest.
It smacks the chest and falls onto the ground.
Okay. Well, that didn't do anything. Then I'm gonna take the fishing pole from my inventory and poke the chest.
I'm gonna step back
You
away from the chest, and I'm
you
gonna eat
tickled
some of
the
my
chest.
spider meat.
The chest doesn't do anything.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna do this thing. I'm going to.
Wait, hold on. Did you hear me, Vox?
Yeah, you said you're stepping back and pooping out some meat.
Well, eating some meat.
Yeah, sure. Let's call it. Let's call it that. It rumbles a little bit from the stinky that Acorn made, and yes, it is obvious that it's a mimic. And it takes its long tongue and it picks up the spider meat and starts munching. It starts turning itself around in joy.
Yay! Are we friends?
It just sits there with its tongue extended.
Then I'm gonna take my fishing pole and with the hook on the bottom of it, I'm gonna hook some more of the spider meat on there and kind of dangle it over the mimic.
It quickly takes its tongue and its tendrils and it grabs the meat, shoving it into its gullet. And it dances some more.
Okay, well that's definitely a mimic, so we can leave
I
the.
think that was pretty evident.
Yeah, I mean we can leave it alone. So I guess we'll kind of just get out of here.
So you're
Oh.
leaving?
Yep, going back down that path towards where the ladder is.
Is the mimic following us? How big is this mimic?
About 3 feet by 2 feet by another 2.5, give or take.
Okay,
I'd assume you guys just rush outside.
yeah, gonna climb the ladder
Yep.
and such.
Oh yeah,
But it's so big.
super big.
Can mimics climb ladders? Was he just using his tongue to kind of pull himself up there?
No,
Ah!
his tendrils.
Okay.
Crazy eyes.
A little bit. He's a looker, that's for sure.
Mm. Okay, well we got the mimic following us now.
Maybe he'll help us on our travels and protect us from whatever else might pop out of here.
And does this mimic have any sort of ill intent or anything like that? Can I do a vibe check?
What is this? The drunken dragon?
Yeah.
Is it thirsty?
Need a
Is it
vibe
stinky?
check here.
It
Vibe
thirsty.
check.
It looks hungry. That's about all you can discern.
Okay, I'm going to throw one of my medium-sized fishes at it. Spin, 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 spin.
It spins it some more.
That's all it's doing is just spinning.
It's happy dance.
It's happy dancing.
I mean, I made the baby dragon run around and happy dance in a circle,
Yeah,
so why not?
I didn't know if there's any other notable changes that's happening with the mimic. Aside from just happy dancing.
Nope, he's just happy dancing
Okay.
and following you around so far. I don't know which direction you guys are heading from this point.
Well, we want to continue towards town.
So it'll be
Mhm.
south,
That'd be
East?
back towards the house.
southeast.
Okay. I need a coin flip.
Okay. Hits.
I see that.
And tails.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Is it perfect? Is it awesome?
Yeah. It's absolutely the case. For me, anyways. You? That remains to be seen. Through the trees and foliage, and with your little mimic that's seemingly desiring to stalk you, you come across a horde of a bunch of zombies. They don't look like the reanimated that you had met in the city. These look like your traditional zombie folk.
Okay, I just got back. All I heard was,
No, I thought you were just waiting quietly.
nope, I just got back.
As you're walking you through the foliage and shadowed woods, you come across a bunch of rustling, and out comes zombie folk.
Okay.
A whole big horde of them.
Are you just chilling? Are you just standing
Nope,
around?
they're walking towards you.
Okay.
Threateningly.
Does the zombie have the appearance of walking threatening or non-threatening? They're
Yeah.
zombies, dude.
They
They're
will have a threatening walk if some are more vicious, and then they start like rushing you,
I
or
mean,
they're
I
making
suppose
lots
they
of noises.
always look a bit threatening.
There's a difference between a zombie like meandering and just kind of going, just chilling, vibing, and a difference between a zombie that's actually going to just is actively trying to
Devour your brains.
devour any flesh.
Well, I don't know. It could be. I can't really tell you that. And they haven't fully taken notice of you.
I
So,
would all accounts try to avoid the horde.
Yeah, we need to sidestep and divert around where those zombies are. We're giving them a wide berth,
okay.
carefully tiptoeing.
Can you tiptoe? Or do you just walk like a freaking thunderous elephant?
Tiptoe. Round the zombies.
Everybody
Through the zombies? Okay.
Around. I said around the
No.
zombies.
Well, I would like you to understand that you have no idea how many are actually around you. You can just see the silhouettes popping out clearly through the darkness from the moonlight, because it is now very much the witching hour. So you have no clue. You can hear the rustling, and that's about it. And you've seen one pop out of clear. Didn't really seem to notice you any. But they could be everywhere and anywhere. Not as though
That's
you would
concerning.
know.
What was my spider vision? How well can I actually see right now?
You can see a horde of glowing, low dim body heat,
But I can just.
and from your quick glances around you, they more or less are at varying distances, but they are all around you. They are not just in the direction you're facing. You have somehow didn't take notice of them following even from behind you. So you've met up with these fools at some point in your quick little jaunt from the smuggler's den. And standing there nice and quietly, you can guesstimate that there's probably about 20.
Okay. But I can discern, like, body shapes and stuff like that to see.
Yeah, to some degree. Not everything looks like a clear body shape because the possibilities of missing limbs. So I'm going to say that not all of them are clearly body shaped.
Okay.
Also, given the fact that you're in woods, it's arguable to actually say, well, the foliage and the trees could also be obstructing some of that vision. But the smell of blood and viscera is exciting your nose and really exciting the mimic, as if the mimic can kind of tell that there's food all over the place for it.
And it's just kind of wiggling and just kind of
Yeah,
chilling there.
it's just kind of getting exacerbatedly excited.
I wish I could read thoughts. uh,
So, if you were unaware, mimics can gain full sentience the longer that they are around people,
mm-hmm.
and they more or less will start acting more akin to, say, a dog, and can even start speaking in broken words up to the type of like a 3-year-old toddler. So eventually you might be able to get that.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Um.
But with that, I'm gonna cut you off. You're all getting cut off. Much like these zombies being cut off from life's grand sequence abruptly from something mysterious and scary.
Doom, doom, doom.
Or like putting the mimic on Slim Fast and getting cut off from meat. Oh, the audacity. Oh, the terror.
Oh,
The terror.
the terror.
Ooh.
This is where we stop. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and hitting that noti. And thank you for joining us for another session here at R2P Roll to Play. It is 5:42 in the morning right now as we are talking. We have been going for a second with this session,
Yeah.
and hopefully you enjoyed it. It's definitely been interesting. I have a few things to work on as a DM for sure. And I also got to make some clarifications that I'll bother with in the next. Uh, but outside of that, hopefully you've been enjoying. hope to see you in the next one. And I also hope that you share this to anyone else who might enjoy it, find it interesting, getting inspiration. Now, go touch grass. Go be nice to someone. Go drink water. Don't be like me and drink pop, soda, cola, wherever you call it, from wherever you're from. Go do something nice for yourself and for other people. And we will see you in the next one. It's not goodbye. What is it, Acorn?
It is see you soon.
What was with the pause?
Dramatic
Was that
flair.
for drama? Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking. Checking. Okay, bye.
Bye.
What?